Variables. Nobody hears the beginning of this show anyway, so I could tell you my bank account details. Oh, there we go. Unfortunately, I just forgot to tell
Yeah.
you the bank account and also where the secret treasure is buried. Go for it, D. Oh shit, it's probably gonna echo now. There we go. Go for it.
Echo, echo, echo. What's going on? $3 deal. This show is for educational and entertainment purposes only. You have to be 21 and over to be here. If not, you have to get out. Back to you,
Out, out,
Fumidoro.
out, out. Ladies and gerbils, welcome to the show. Thanks very much for hanging. Looks like no one's in the chat yet, so we're probably talking to ourselves. But welcome, folks, nonetheless. Moving some shit out of the way here. Thanks very much for joining us. If you guys are new to the show, please, first of all, welcome. Thanks very much for joining us. And please sit back, relax, enjoy yourselves, hopefully. If you wouldn't mind, honestly, if you enjoy the show, you don't have to do it right this second, but now's the easiest time to remember. But at some point, if you enjoy the show, before leaving, if you could hit the thumbs up button, that would be super helpful. If you hate the show with a burning white hot passion, first of all, why are you here? Second of all, if you do hate the show with a burning white hot passion, cheers, love for the plant. Make sure to hit the downvote button twice, really just to make it count. They always say double tap, right? So make sure to do that. And then, of course, go find something else to do. But I don't know, something that you like better. Like, I don't even know, jumping up and down and hitting yourself in the head with a hammer. I don't even know, right? Like, why are you watching this show if you fucking hate it? It's so bizarre to me. But ladies and gerbils, also, by the way, we should remember, just like Dee said, no children are allowed, folks. So if you guys are under the age of 21, where I am, it's under 21. If your age requirements are a little bit different where you are, please do follow your local rules. We always say keep your nose clean. Weed is something that should enhance your life, not detract from it by getting you locked in a cage and shit like that. We all know that the rules and laws are unfair, but that's the reality that we many times have to live with. It's been stunning. There was I guess you could say, a viral video on Reddit, because I saw it on Reddit. I think it came from TikTok. Some kid, and it was literally just a kid. He was like a 18, 19-year-old dumbass. I mean, all of us been dumb at that level of dumbass probably at some point in our lives. Just some dipshit with his friends, basically, playing with a bag of, unfortunately, somewhat swaggy weed. Anyway, but the punchline is essentially, well, I guess the story goes that he was playing with this bag of weed on a live stream, again, Instagram or TikTok. I don't honestly remember which. It was kind of formatted maybe like it was a TikTok video. But anyway, he's playing with his weed and kind of, breaks it all up in his hands, and he's all proud of the fact that he has it. And all of a sudden, the cops come in, freaking storming in the door. They break down the door. Da, da, da. Object lesson that it's not fucking legal everywhere. Like, we basically play with, I mean, how many of the audience and everybody else has pounds literally surrounding them, probably in jars. Oh, it's
No
absolutely,
way.
absolutely, yeah. D, how many, what's the most pounds you think you've ever had in your house? During legal times, by the way.
Oh, I don't know. Five, maybe three or four.
Yeah, you see, more than that kid got busted for sure, because he was on. Maybe he had a couple off camera or something, but
But not.
motherfucker, storm down the door, break down the door for what? Maybe a fucking $500-600 pound of weed. That's police work right there, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, I guess my point is object lesson. Keep your nose clean. Do what you got to do to stay on this side of the law, basically. And folks, hopefully, we'll all join each other on the other side of legality. We'll all be able to grow nice and happy plants and be all happy, kumbaya. Anyway, some of us are lucky enough to grow it. So, folks, please do remember, most of us on the show are medical growers, recreational growers, etc. So we are actually allowed to grow. We're not just kind of winging it. So please do remember that before you consider reporting us or anything else. I've had a bunch of different trolls who were obsessed with a few different details. There was one guy that was for years obsessed with the idea that seeds are not legal. He was objectively, just flatly wrong, honestly, but just obsessed about that, right? So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, please do remember what I'm doing is actually allowed, believe it or not. Might be surprising, perhaps, but it is actually allowed. There's actually at this point a couple of laws. I want to say three that, well, there's probably way more, but there's three main laws that basically make it legal to grow seeds. So anyway, folks, welcome to the show. Thanks very much, Love for the Plant, for joining us. D Zombie, of course, our illustrious moderator. So far, we only have blue names in the chat. Hardcore's hanging with us as well. He watches for the derps, of course, the well-known thing. D Zombie, of course, is showing the one and only, well, one of, I guess it's a triumvirate of ruse. It's kind of like the fucking, what do they call it? The Holy Trinity, basically. Don't be a dick, don't show your dick, and don't be a fucking lunatic. That's the Holy Trinity of this show, ladies and gentlemen. Very easy. You don't have to say any Hail Marys or Hail fucking anything. You could say Hail Mary Janes if you want to, but don't be a dick.
Mm.
Simple fucking rules. Don't step on anyone's toes. Don't be a jerk off. Don't just be a fucking schnob to be whatever. Schnob. What's a schnob? Don't be a fucking a putz just to be a putz. Don't be a lunatic either. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, we have no interest in crazy people coming on here and just oogly kaboogly kaboogly. If you have lunatic political opinions or whatever else, we don't really want to hear it. Now, by the way, that doesn't include contrary opinions. We very much, it's my show, would very much like to hear contrary opinions. Well thought out opinions are always welcome. If you have an opinion that differs from any of our discussion, whether it's growing or politics or anything else, folks, feel free to come on here.
Mm.
Just like I said, don't pull it out of your ass. Don't be a lunatic about it. Be a reasonable person. So to speak, do your homework. You don't actually literally have to do your homework because the show is supposed to be for fun. But God damn it, you guys are welcome to bring contrary opinions. Now, what is the show? Of course, I should always make sure to not only introduce the show, but also myself before I forget to. So I guess I should say first, I'm Fumidor. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. That's the name I go by, I guess, on this channel. Fumidor and the Flavors is my main channel. This is Fumidoro. This is too many names, I realize. But this is basically channel two, you could say, of the gigantic Fumidoro network. Oh my God, we have so many fucking channels. But realistically, you only have to know a couple channels, Fumidor and the Flavors and Fumidoro. Right now, I'm not using those other two kind of emergency lifeboat channels that we had to start over the years. It's a long story. It's not worth it. But ladies and gentlemen, please do subscribe to both. That would be very helpful if you're listening and not subscribed yet. If you would like to know when the shows actually hit, so you can join us in the live show and actually, chat with us or even join the panel, please make sure to hit that little bell icon until it has the little ringy things basically at the top there. Uh, the show itself, by the way, is a live show. Basically, as you can see, a lot of people honestly watch it on repeat. I think probably in the garden, stuff like that. Of course, a lot of people are off grid and stuff like that. We have a surprising amount of off grid folks that watch this show. So, folks, whenever you're watching it, honestly, it is meant to be. Well, I guess it's not meant to be, but it is generally we broadcast the show live. Almost all the interviews that I do are live, although that may well change in the near future. I'm hoping to do a lot of different kind of shows in the future. But so far, basically on the main channel, we only have one show a week at the moment on Tuesday evenings. And then, of course, on this channel, we have High Noon Safety Meeting on Wednesdays and the D's Takeover Show on Saturdays. Folks, I'm a primarily organic grower. Basically, I've been growing, I guess you could say, living soil for a number of years now. I have some pots that are, unfortunately, I've marked them poorly at this point because I moved and stuff. So I used to know exactly which pot was which. I kind of know which pots are which just based on the old brands of pots that I bought. But unfortunately, I have multiple smart pots. I have multiple geopots. So I don't know 100% for sure which one is which anymore. But I have, some of them I have some history because I like to, when I have a particularly good run on a plant, or something memorable, I like to keep the tag basically in the pot. Sometimes I end up taking them out, blah blah blah. So it's not a perfect system, but generally speaking, I have some idea. Oh, this was cuvee back in the day, fucking sugar tits or whatever, right? Pig Chris or something. Anyway, but I've had a number of those pots for years now. They're basically like pets, and I've literally moved them a couple of times now. It's actually kind of asinine to think that I've moved them a couple of times, even three times in a few cases. So that's more than I ever thought that I would move dirt with me. It's, I think, farther than dirt normally travels. But basically, these living soil pots, they are essentially like a pet. And at this point, they've got their own little indigenous endemic communities. There are probably bacterial lines that don't exist in their specific, mutations anywhere else, on and on and on. So anyway, the soil works really well, and I think it's one of the biggest advantages actually of living soil. It always discourages me, or I don't know, maybe discouraged is not the right word, but whatever. I'm always a little discouraged, perhaps we'll say it that way, when I see people try organics, quote unquote, and they basically try with a fresh bag of fucking Fox Farm or whatever, and maybe they even know enough to throw a little bit of compost in there and whatever, and they try that first run and it's kind of garbage, basically. They're surprised how terrible it is. The plants are small, they take longer than their synthetic plants, on
Wonderful.
and on and on. And they're like, oh my God, this is garbage. Organic is not for me. Unfortunately, you barely scratch the surface with organics. If you basically want to talk about like living soil,
Fox
I hate to
Farm.
be discouraging about this. It's not like you can't get a good run the first time. You absolutely can, but it gets better and better and better and better. And honestly, by the time it's like a year old, that soil, then it starts to be really genuinely honest to God living soil. So anyway, whatever, we can discuss that and more, folks, at another time, for example, during this show. But I wanted to introduce you folks. I make seeds also. My store has kind of been down for a while now because life has just kind of gotten in the way. So I thought I would take the store down I keep promising to bring it back and keep not doing that. But ladies and gentlemen, I very much hope to get the store back up and running very soon. Uh, but please keep in mind that I do breed a number of seed lines, so
Favorite
I'm always
sponsor.
up for a trade, stuff like that. What's that, D?
Oh, I was just saying our favorite sponsor of the show.
There we go. Exactly. Yeah, we don't. I don't really have any sponsors of the show. Essentially, I'm the sponsor of the show. I know a lot of the other shows that are a little bit like this have sponsors from dirt companies and whatever else, and that's fine. Honestly, that's fine for them, but it's also a little bit difficult. I definitely have thought about getting sponsors from time to time. I guess I'm open to it in theory, but you do have to remember that a sponsor kind of looks over your nose. It's like having a boss, basically, you know. And one of the biggest advantages of these channels is you can say whatever the fuck you want. It's your channel, and as long as I don't run afoul of YouTube's cryptic fucking rules, then basically I can do whatever I want. It's my channel, it's my show, it's my everything. When you have a sponsor, it's not necessarily your show anymore, basically. You know, it might be their show, depending on the terms of the sponsorship. So anyway, folks, I've shied away from those as much as I can. I've gotten offers here and there, and some of them have even been compelling. Some of them were quite low-key in their sponsorship opportunities, and then sometimes things just got in the way. I got a nice package of CBD brownies and stuff that was actually quite nice. They just wanted me to talk about them, but then I had to fucking move all of a sudden again, and unfortunately that just fell apart. But anyway. So, ladies and gerbils, the show itself, by the way, I guess I've been babbling like a fucking crazy person. The show itself, folks, please visualize, if you would, for a moment, kind of like the Twilight Zone. It's your choice. You can, I guess, visualize any number of different permutations, but it's supposed to be a cannabis cafe slash pub. So, whatever your preferred version of that is, if you're from the UK or Australia, for example, you might spend more time at the pub, at the neighborhood pub. A lot of people basically spend at least a few minutes or half an hour or something every day. Believe it or not, a lot of people go there every day to check in with their neighbors and their friends and stuff. So, folks, feel free to visualize it that way. Feel free to visualize checking in with your favorite cannabis friends from worldwide, though. This is one of the nicest permutations of this show is that we have people legitimately from pretty much every continent. We get very few people from South America still, but we do every once in a while get someone from South America. We've had people from Brazil and Costa Rica doesn't count for South America, but let's say, does Panama? Panama doesn't really count either. But we've definitely got Colombians, but although it's been a little bit since we've gotten Colombians.
Hola.
But anyway, once upon a time we got a Venezuelan saying hello. That poor guy probably that country is so fucked. Anyway, but ladies and gentlemen, we would love to hear from some folks from South America. But other than that, other than Antarctica, basically, we get everybody tuning in. We get people from Australia. We get people from all over the place. So, folks, imagine a cannabis pub slash cafe that has cool people from all over the world that you can get to know. You're more than welcome to hop on here. The rules are quite simple, very simple, actually, in the chat. All you have to do is just be friendly, honestly. We have a number of moderators to keep things clean. So, if anybody gets out of hand, please, folks, just at one of the moderators and we'll be happy to remove it. We have absolutely a zero tolerance policy for any shenanigans on these shows. That's probably disappointing to some of the trolls, but wouldn't you know it, they have shut the fuck up now that they know they will get insta-banned, basically. We don't really see them very often, right, D? Like, when's the last time we saw any of these fucking monkeys? They're still subscribed. Like, I'm sure that they're still subscribed, waiting for the day when they can fucking come out and troll. But I think I've made it clear at this point that they just get fucking insta-banned. We don't even time them out anymore for fun. I used to time them out for fun and just kind of drag it out for a while, but yeah, now we just bye. So, folks, as long as you're cool, as long as you're chill, as long as you don't cause any problems, you're welcome to disagree with us in the chat. That's not it at all. But as long as you disagree peacefully and normally and not attack other people. By the way, I've oftentimes not made this clear, but it should be clear. It should be explicit to you. No one is allowed to make fun of anyone that comes on the show. Anyone that's on the panel, even briefly, even if they're on for 5 minutes. I don't care how laughable they are. If they're the stupidest fucking stupid fucker in the stupid world, it doesn't matter. If they come on the show, they basically get a pass, and you don't get to say a fucking thing negative about them. And if you do, you get instantly banned. If you want to say something politely critical or something of someone's garden, hey, I think you should da 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 da. Well, use your best judgment. If you're a normal human being, use your best judgment. But every once in a while, people feel brave enough to make fun of someone that comes on the show. Hey, if you were brave enough to come on the show and say it to their face, then I might consider what you have to say. But since you're saying it like a bitch made fuck in the chat, I just ban you like a coward. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are, though, welcome to hop on the show. Hopefully not for that kind of thing. I guess that was a bad segue. But we would love to hear from especially new voices. It's definitely not meant to be just a show among, among 4 or 5 bros or something. This is quite literally supposed to be an open door show. I've always structured it that way. Unfortunately, I think due to drama, basically that I think in many cases had very little to do with me. A lot of folks haven't hopped on here in a long time. So, hey, use the opportunity, folks, to become new friends with us. We would love to see some new faces, build some new friendships, build some new. We don't have to be friends, of course, too. You guys can just come on here to talk, but it would be lovely to build some new friendships or even partnerships in the grow world. We're all, I think, at least simpatico as far as it goes with cannabis. Not all of us grow, of course, but I think most of us here are here for. Yeah, the joy of the plant and stuff like that. So, folks, if you're not here for that, I mean, again, I'm always open to contrary opinions. I think that this show has always been a place where people are able to say something that they're thinking about, even if it's not true, even if they haven't really necessarily worked it out that well yet. If it's a halfway decent hypothesis, we're happy to hear it, folks. As long as it's not pulled straight out of your ass, that's definitely not a hypothesis it's worth listening to. But if you pulled it out of a very smart person's ass, no, I'm kidding. Anyway, point being, folks, you're welcome to hop on here. All you need to do is hit the. I don't even know what I was trying to say there. I was going to say hit the link, but we don't pin the link. Just ask for the link. Just say, hey, one of the moderators, or hey, somebody, basically at D, for example, or who else in here right now? At Hardcore, at Love for the Plan. Any of the blue names can post the link for you. Hey, could I please get a link to join the show? That's really all you have to do. You don't even necessarily have to say please, to be honest. It's just a polite thing to do. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have to beg, grovel, or fucking steal anything. You don't have to complete 5 quests. You don't have to kill anybody. Although if you kill some of our enemies, we'll give you bonus points, I guess. But don't say it on the live stream. We might get in trouble. I don't want to be an accessory after the fact. But yeah, right, D? I mean, come on, that's pushing it too far. But
Yeah.
it's not going to help you on the show. I mean, I'll just be honest
No,
with you.
no,
It's not going to help
no.
you get on the show. For that, all you have to do is ask for the link. So, ladies and gentlemen, cheers, Miranda Farms. Good to see you, buddy. Who else in here? Dr. Lee Alone's hanging. Mark Risch. Mark Risch grows in living soil. I have little, if any, trouble and have had very pleasing results. You see, perfect review of growing soil, of living soil growing. So great sentence. It's the it's one of the more difficult systems maybe to master, even though honestly, Coot was right. It's a shame that we kind of can't have Coot on the show anymore, but whatever. Coot was right. You have to almost learn to disconnect. You basically learn the entire system so that you can end up basically not doing hardly shit. It's kind of comical, honestly. It is very Zen. It's very kind of an Eastern methodology, at least in the kind of conceptual way that you do it. You really, as opposed to being a chemist with all your little bottles and your pH meters and everything else, the more hands off you are, the better it goes, generally speaking. You do end up intervening from time to time because, of course, we are growing something intentionally and not unintentionally, right? But you end up basically knowing when you're not supposed to do anything. It's kind of a comical system. But long story short, it ends up growing really, really well, and it's fairly easy to fix too. For example, I've been complaining about how cold my garden was and how I had to split it up. I wanted it all to be in the garage and whatever. Well, it's already getting better. It's warming up. Basically, all it had to do was for the soil to warm up. I didn't have to hardly do shit. And now I'm basically pouring in some aloe. I ground up some aloe today. Got some aloe fronds at the Vietnamese store. And it's just
Nice.
so much easier just to buy the full size fronds, right? And what was I going to say? Ground them up basically, mixed them with water and poured them in. And wouldn't you know, in a couple of days, I'm sure the plants will be super happy. I have 3 more fronds, so I'm probably gonna, instead of pouring them all in at once, I usually try to break it up in a couple, maybe even 3 batches. So next watering, I'll probably put in the other 3 fronds. And yeah, Bob's your uncle. It's going to be pretty solid. So anyway, that was
Yeah.
a pretty long introduction. That's me, ladies and gentlemen. That's the show. You guys are absolutely welcome to join us. Patricia Walker, absolutely wonderful to see you as well. D, what's going on, buddy?
What's going on, everybody? What's going on, chat? Thanks, everybody, for tuning into the pre-show on my channel, DZombie underscore 745. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, just like this channel here, to get notified when we go live. I am smoking on Super Pink Kush right now. I also have, what else is that? The white runts, or no, the other runts. Shit, I can't think of it. But I got Oreo runts, Oreo mints, and I also got space runs for bedtime, for nighttime. That's so good for nighttime. Smoke a couple of them joints, 2 or 3 joints, and we're good. Cheers, everybody in chat. Hope everyone's having a great night. Thanks for tuning into the show. I'm going to be here for the next couple hours till about 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That's about 11 o'clock Pacific, I believe. For all you Pacific people, cheers, Jones and the Grove. Just popping in the chat. I see you there. People trying to sneak in. What up, Miranda? Hope everyone's having a great night.
Hello, motherfuckers. You guys are more than welcome to hop on here. I'm probably going to be on and off the show this evening. I have some work to do literally in the next room here. So maybe I'll put on my headphones and stay on the show. But we would love to hear from some of you folks. We would love to, like I said, we would absolutely love to hear from some new voices. Obviously, don't be discouraged if you're a regular on the show. You're more than welcome still. But we would love to hear from some folks that haven't been on here before or haven't been on for a long time. You name it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to smoke a little bit. I have very little left. I want to say I have maybe 6 joints if I stretch it. 3.5 if I actually rolled nice big ones, but whatever. It's just gonna have to deal with it. Oh, dang, what a nice frosty bud. This is my sour Morgana. No, I
Nice.
can't be impartial on it. It's delightful, and I'm honestly very proud of the fact that I bred something like this. It's idiotically frosty. It tastes lovely. It's idiotically frosty. That's one of the kind of fan sugar leaves. You can see all the trikes on it. Um, yeah, you'll be hearing more from this one in the future here. I very much hope to, candidly, whichever one re-veges or veges rather better in the near future. I'm going to probably try to feminize in the near future. I have Sour Morgana 4 and Sour Morgana 3, and I like them both for different reasons. Uh, yeah, very poorly trimmed, as you can see, but very, very frosty. Just stupid,
Nice.
stupid frosty. Anyway, this one has this surprisingly cuvee structure. Not so much structure, but has more of a Ruby Jack structure actually. But very much a cuvee flavor, aroma, even actually high. It's kind of this. I guess all the Morganas, especially the Summer Morganas, have that uplifting high. But very much reminded me a lot of the grandma or great grandma, grandma. No, great grandma maybe. I forget now. Anyway, grandparent, we'll call it, the original cuvee from Sub. Anyway, it's always funny to me how genetics can pass through multiple generations and then they come out and you're like, oh, hey, what's up? Anyway, so this one reminds me quite a bit of that old cuvee that was the mom to all the Morganas. The sour number four, sour Morgana number four, she reminds me of another plant that I had actually, but now I'm not placing it very well. Anyway, she has this very she's actually the most sour. I think you guys have heard me complaining a few times about the sour Morgana that I didn't get that sour Lifesavers cherry from the mom basically in it. At least I haven't found it yet, so it's not a super common phenotype because I've grown enough to find it. If it was a super common phenotype, it could be a 1 in 100 or something because I definitely didn't get a chance to plant that many yet. But the number four has that sourness, but it's more of a meaty sourness, basically. It's not that kind of Lifesavers candy. It's almost more of a savory sourness. Hard to kind of explain. It does have a lot of cherry, and it actually, believe it or not, has a. Wish I had more right now that I could smoke it and tell you about it, but it's been a couple months since I smoked it, so my memory's not perfect. But basically, it was first of all, the thing that I loved about it was a thumping, thumping high. It was, I think, to be honest, I think it's the best thing I have now, and I have some delightful stuff. The sour three is right behind it, basically, but that four, oh yikes! So anyway, if I do the three first, I'm definitely gonna do the four again too. But anyway, whatever. Love that fucking plant. I'm gonna hope to breed them with that Jack the Ripper male as well, because I want to do at least one more, if not maybe two more rounds of that Jack the Ripper male. Maybe not consecutively, because I feel like I'll just end up being known for the same thing forever. But I definitely want to. Sure, if I'll be able to do it. I was gonna basically set up a breed in the very near future here. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to. So we'll see. It might be in a couple months that I do it. Anyway, I really would like to do at least one more breed, and I would love to get those sours in there. At least one of them, like those sours hit to that Jack the Ripper, I think would just be exemplary. I think it would be some really stunning weed. The flavors would be off the chart. It would definitely be incredibly citrus focused, so that's cool. It would, I think, focus very much on the Ruby Jack side of the kind of citrus of the whole family, because that lemon and skunk from the Jack the Ripper, I think, would really pull it out. But again, you never know until you actually breed the stuff. I certainly didn't expect Lifesavers candy when I first bred the Morgana. I didn't. I thought I would get like grapefruit and lemon and shit, because the Ruby Jack, one of the very first phenotypes I pulled out was lemon, had sour grapefruit. I had all these different, yeah, ruby red grapefruit, you name it. So I thought that was going to really focus on it. Somehow it became that cherry, which was a very pleasant surprise. But it's just one of those things you can never really tell. Folks, if you don't want to hear me monologue this entire show, this would be a good opportunity for you to hop on. D is
Hop
currently
on.
emboldened as co-host, so he can definitely let you in. We would love to hear from
Oh,
whoever's hanging with us. What's up, Facts Don't Have Feelings? What's going on, buddy? Who else in here? Oh, what's up, old fashioned coffee pot? Good to see you, buddy.
poor puppy. Aw.
What happened to the puppy? Oh, puppy ate a roach today. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Is that bad for your dog, or is it just annoying?
Well, it just makes him high and trips him out.
Oh, really? From the chemicals in the beetle?
No, no, a roach, like a cannabis roach.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha. Yeah,
Joint
that's
roach.
because dogs can, believe it or not, dogs can eat raw weed. That's something I didn't know when I first started growing. So a lot of you folks probably don't. Some of you know probably, but some of you don't know. I started growing not to cash crop like a lot of people. I basically started growing because my dog was kind of old and had a lot of health problems over his life, and so I thought he was going to need. I knew he needed weed, but I thought I was going to need to, grow fuckloads of weed for him. Blah blah blah. Turns out it's easy to grow enough weed for a dog because it doesn't take all that much, right? And it took me a while before I actually realized that you don't have to decarboxylate it or anything. I was making all kinds of edibles. I was doing it in the oven. I was giving him ABV. I was doing all kinds of different stuff. And then I found out, oh yeah,
Yeah.
you just literally give a dog raw weed. Basically, you give it to him with something, in some food or whatever. Actually, the same thing as people. In this case, you always want to give it to them with something that has a little bit of fat in it. It doesn't have to be pure fat by any stretch, but a cheese, milk product of some kind usually has enough fat in it. That's kind of the go-to. But even honestly, a piece of turkey or something, as long as it has enough kind of greasiness, because the fat binds with the THC and actually CBD and stuff. So anyway, that's good. That's the good part. But the bad part is if your dog eats a fucking roach on the ground, oh shit, it's gonna get high, high. And if it's not
Yeah.
used to it, that's not great.
Yeah. Mrs. D's, we were watching Mrs. D's mom's dog, and it found a roach on the porch, and it ate it. We didn't know. Went back with the Mrs. D's mom later on. Oh, it's starting to freak out. She was ready to take it to the vet and everything.
Because the dog's all drooling and stuff.
Yeah, it was shaking and
Oh
making like
wow.
whining and yeah. Treat
Because
the
you,
Mrs. D's mom out.
yeah, I what was it? I want to say I actually read this today. It was somebody talking about a horse, a nervous horse. Yeah, it was like a video on Reddit. This chick was trying to put a blanket on a nervous horse. Anyway, someone had a really interesting comment, and they mentioned, and I thought it was a very insightful comment. They said that horses, and in this case, I think the analogy, because I thought of dogs as soon as I read it, horses and dogs can think, but they don't think in language. And so their thought processes are very, very different than ours. They also don't process time in the same way we do. They do process time. So, I mean, if anyone's had a dog, probably a horse too, honestly, but a dog or a cat, they always know when it's dinner time, right? They always know it's time to go for a walk or whatever. They know to the minute, basically, what time it is. So they can process time, but they process it extremely differently. And so they don't think in terms of the future or the past or anything like that. They just know perhaps that something was bad in the past, and so they'll remember it forever. Or they're maybe afraid of something, so they'll be afraid of it forever, unless you work out those issues. Anyway, I thought it was a really insightful comment, like for example, in this case, the horse was nervous, probably from previous abuse with the blanket or something. In fact, I think that's exactly what it was. Some previous owner had a trainer that was super abusive when they put the blanket on. So the horse they get cold, so you apparently put blankets on them when they get cold, was very, very reluctant, like super, super reluctant. It was very interesting to see when she relented, she realized the horse was too nervous to put the blanket on. She was like, all right, and she tossed the blanket, and the horse showed immediate gratitude. He like rubbed his head on her and da da da. So people were talking about how this is such an obvious sign of emotions and thought process in the animal and so on. I thought it was a very insightful comment. Again, like we're not saying that that horse is currently contemplating the do theorem of fucking existence or some shit, right? But at the same time, how do we know that they're not pondering something, right? You should give them credit for existing, I think, more than anything else. But anyway, super, super interesting comments. What's Mark doing? Six chemovars, some haze, a kush, and some outcrosses of mine. What did he just say? Oh, just took down my 4x4 yesterday. Can't wait for the drawing to finish up. Heck yeah. Uh, nice blend too. You got it all over the map. You got some haze, you got some kush, and some crosses, but presumably something sort of in the middle. What's that, D?
Got some chem too.
That's cool.
Yeah, man.
Folks, nobody's on here yet. We've been here for a bit, so please do hop on. We'd love to hear from you. The show is basically about you. It's essentially an empty pub right now. We got two bartenders and nobody's here, right, D?
Arr.
That's right. At the pirate bar, they're not bartenders, they're yard tenders.
Arr. What's this jackass saying?
We should have a
Oh,
bar called the Thirsty Wench.
apparently, I don't know if you guys ever heard of medieval times. We have one here in Canada, in Toronto. Anyway, it's the horse. You go there, you pay, they feed you dinner. It's a dinner and a show basically, but it's horses and knights and everything. They like
Hmm,
fight on
cool,
horses and
cool.
everything. Anyways, the servers there are all female.
Hmm,
You have to call them wenches.
hmm.
So if you want the salt, you have to say, "Hey wench, bring the salt, wench." So
They have those all over Europe. They're basically tourist traps. I mean, they're kind of fun. I've been to, I don't know, one or two of them over the years, but they're always stupid expensive. Like I want to say, oh, this was years ago, and I think it was easily like 40 bucks, 45 bucks for my dinner, which I guess these days isn't that much anymore, but that back then it was a fair. In fact, I think back then it was like 40 but 45 bucks, so probably be 60 or more now. I don't know if that would be worth it, but it was still fun. Oh, here we go. Hardcore is joining us. It was still fun to see some of the stuff. I don't know, they always do like roast spit meats and shit like that, whatever.
no. Well,
Kind of
this
fun, I
one's
suppose.
like an arena style thing. They have it like it's an
Oh, they have
actual
like
brick and
jousting
mortar.
and stuff. That's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's all brick and mortar.
I've heard they have that in I want to say both England and oh, they might even have that in other countries too that I've heard of. That they actually have like mock jousting tournaments basically. And it's kind of like what is it? I guess the Ren Fair or whatever, but I suppose the
Mm.
Ren Fair does stuff like that kind of, but horse combat and stuff, right? And it must be mock combat because it's easy to get fucking
Yeah.
killed with that. But
Oh
it's cool.
yeah. And some they revamped it. They changed the whole show apparently a couple years ago.
Hmm.
But when they used to hit the swords together, they actually had the sparks coming off it and everything. So it looked
Hmm.
like it was really cool. They wore the authentic costume.
So they dip the swords in fucking flint beforehand or something.
I guess. Is that how they do that?
I don't know. Actually, I don't remember. There is a way to do that when you. How do you get swords to glint in movies? I think a lot of times these days it's Jesus Christ. I have a lot of tabs open. I think these days it's just in post, but how do they?
Mm.
No, spark, not glint.
Come on, Sparky.
Right. Sword sparks.
You want to have a sword fight.
Oh, apparently it's actually easy to get sparks. You just fuck up the sword. So
Hmm.
stage performers use flints on the part of the blade closest to the hilt. So if you hit that flint, basically, then you're going to get big sparks.
Okay,
Kind of fun. But
that's cool.
evidently, you can get sparks even when you're just whacking swords together. Hardcore and J5 like to whack swords together. I wonder if they create sparks.
I'm just gonna say, ask George Takei.
Oh my.
Oh
Speaking of
my.
hardcore, what's going on, buddy?
It's Sunday. Brad, it's Sunday.
I came
Time
on
to
the show. My
wrestle.
sword is all bruised.
Time to wrestle.
I was sparking it too hard. Oh shit, we're gonna have to lighter.
Oh my.
Lighter down. Get it back up, I think.
Hi, hardcore. Oh, it must be.
He's here in spirit.
Yeah. No, you didn't, Doctor. Leave me alone. Well, I could.
Oh, by the way, I don't think I've gotten addresses from I don't think I got
Yeah.
addresses from either of you, D or Coffee Pot that won the last
Again.
giveaway. I think I was still, yeah, in fact I do. I have the seeds right there. So, gentlemen, please send me your addresses. Unless you don't want the seeds, in which case I can
What, your
just give them
medical
away
license?
again.
I got
What's that,
them.
hardcore?
Well, there you go.
Oh, there he is. What's going on, buddy?
And,
Speaking of sports fight.
If you got other people in there, oh yeah, he's got other people in there. Right on. I was gonna
Uh,
say, might have to mute him or
Party.
something. Cheers there,
Oreo
hardcore.
mini.
Good to see you.
there, nickname. How's it going like this? Nickname. Uh, on nickname, how do you use any nickname? What's the
Just
best
trying to talk.
weed you've ever smoked? Eh? Yeah. Pleasure or worse. There wasn't here. Was that one of my friends?
Hardcore, if you could move the mic a little bit closer. He's working on it. While he's working on it, folks, feel free to hop on here. Oh, look at that. Jones and Two Grows in the house. Didn't see you there. Um, did I miss anybody else? Hello to Miranda. And of course, as we always say, lurkers, non-lurkers, folks, you guys are all welcome. I know a lot of people like to work on the garden. I know I like to put on YouTube shows and kind of just, tune it out and put it in the background and work on my garden. So, folks, if you are, welcome. But as always, even if you are just kind of working on the garden, you're always welcome to say hello. You're also welcome to hop on the panel, folks. You don't have to be on camera if you didn't know that. There's probably 20 different ways to not be on camera. You can block the camera and put a background on there. We can easily help that easily help you with that, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to hop on here. Cheers, Toyman's Bar and Grill. Welcome.
Hold on.
Oh shit, we just
Uh-uh.
lost hardcore. Hopefully we get him back. Folks, the show's a conversational show, so when no one's on here, difficult to have a conversation. Here he is.
So I'm such
I
a
like this.
chatty Cathy.
What's that, D?
Since I'm such a chatty Cathy.
That's right. We're all pretty chatty though, actually. Oh, I was going to show you something since no one's on here. I was going to show
Uh-oh.
you.
Better not be your dick.
Excuse me while I whip this out. Exactly.
Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh my.
Uh, Goddamn,
Oh, Lily.
can I go one day without reading some world-ending shit from fucking Trump? Just, it's endless. Today they announced they're pulling all U.S. troops out of Europe, which is a comical punch in the own dick. Whatever. That's where we're at now. So here, this is the one right here. Let's see, can we actually, am I of legal age in my jurisdiction? Yes, I am. Thank you very much. This is according to, was somebody chatting in here? Oh, Hardcore just said we should listen to your neighbor. Happily, Hardcore, if you can hear us, we just need to get you maybe put the microphone between you guys or something because it was a little bit difficult to hear your friend. So if you could put it maybe halfway between you, if you could also scoot a little bit closer to him, that would be really great. Obviously, you both probably can't use headphones, but at least you could put the mic between you. And if you have any fans or anything going in the background, please shut them off because it'll interfere with the
You know what to
not
do,
only with the
hardcore.
mic, but with the noise canceling, so it ends up getting super fucked up. It's one of the reasons why Bud struggles to hear us and why we struggle to hear him sometimes, because he has actually a lot of noise in the background behind him, and Zoom does such a spectacular job of filtering it out that we can hear only him, but we can't hear all that fucking noise that he listens to. So anyway, so we always have to remember, myself included, we always have to give Bud a little bit of the benefit of the doubt because he's not trying to not hear us or something. So here's the story from StratCan, stratcan.com with two N's. They say Canadians list cannabis legalization as Trudeau's crowning success. And I'm reading this because I thought, oh, how interesting, because I know D talks a lot of shit about Trudeau, but Trudeau's leaving office very, very soon. What, in the next couple, 3 weeks or something, right? Oh, did someone
Yeah.
just try to join the show? I didn't see who it was. Anyway, new polling data shows that Canadians rank cannabis legalization as Justin Trudeau's top accomplishment in his nearly 10 years in office. The online poll, conducted and presented by the Angus Reid Institute, took place from March 4th through 6th, 2025, so just happened, honestly, among a representative randomized sample of 1,850 Canadian adults who are members of the Angus Reid Forum. I feel like I've heard that name, but I don't know it. Do you know the name, D? The Angus
No,
Reid
I
Forum?
know.
So we'll just assume for the moment that it's important. Just over half of Canadians, 52%, listed cannabis legalization as an example of a policy success by the Trudeau Liberal government, higher than the public's view of the Trudeau government's handling of COVID-19, 47%, and the response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine, 46%. Younger Canadian men between 18 and 35 were more likely to consider cannabis legalization a successful policy, 66% of them, but support decreased with age. Men aged 55 and older were the least likely to say the same, only 40%. How fascinating. Women showed a similar spread of support, with more support among the 18 to 35 crowd, 59%, than the 55 plus crowd, or 46%. It's interesting. You would have figured a lot of older folks would be really into cannabis these days, but I guess I would assume, like a lot of folks, the older you get, sort of the more conservative people skew. For Canadians who listed cannabis legalization as a failure, a similar trend among age groups emerged, with 30% of Canadian men aged 55% 55 plus rather, saying it was a policy failure, while 27% of women aged 55 and up said the same. Only 16% of men aged 18 to 34 said cannabis legalization was a failure, and 17% for women in the same age group. Unsurprisingly, those who supported the Conservative Party were overwhelmingly not supportive of cannabis legalization, while Liberal and NDP voters, and to a lesser degree BQ voters, were supportive. So that's fascinating because D has mentioned that he's a fan of the Conservatives, or I thought he was a
About
fan of the
saying,
Conservatives. I guess I'll just finish and then we can talk about it. The Conservative Party of Canada opposed cannabis legalization on principle as as the legislation was being debated in Parliament in 2017 and 2018. All party members voted against legalization, except for one Conservative MP, Scott Reid, Ontario, who says the party punished him for breaking ranks on the bill. Cannabis legalization had the highest net assessment among all potential party voters, followed by the expansion of the social safety net, like the child care benefit, dental care coverage, and more, as well as the response to the ongoing conflict in Ukraine, Canada's handling of COVID-19, and promoting equality among women. At a provincial level, support for cannabis legalization was highest in Atlantic Canada, Ontario, BC, and Quebec. Quebec, I always forget how to say it. And opposition to, that's how you say it. And opposition to cannabis legalization was highest in Saskatchewan, Manitoba. No, it's fuck you. That's how you say it. And opposition to cannabis legalization was highest in Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and rural Canada. I probably mispronounced Saskatchewan, to be honest. Trudeau recently announced he was stepping down as leader of the Liberal Party of Canada and Prime Minister of Canada following the selection of a new party leader on March 9th. Just over 1 in 20 adults, 5.7% reported daily or almost daily use of cannabis in 2024, down from 6.5% a year earlier. Holy cannoli, almost an entire percent point drop. And it's 1 out of 20 people. Isn't that interesting? Only 1 in 20 people smoke cannabis in Canada. I would have figured it would be 25% by now. Seriously, like I don't know, maybe that's too high, but I would have figured it would be a lot more than fucking 5%. Shitty balls. Anyway, what do you think about that, D? How about them apples?
I'm muted, of course. First, we shouldn't have legalized cannabis. It was stupid. The
You mean
whole
to say that we should have kept it medical or what?
Yeah, exactly. Then we had this awesome store too right by us. That was a medical only patient uh uh place we can go to get cannabis at a good price. And anyways, the 99% of the legalized cannabis from the companies are crap. Like I said earlier, like in previous before, there are some people like AEG example, Bubble Man, those kind of guys. No, they have good products, even though they're made in the lab and everything. They actually do it right. And also, a lot of the cannabis that we get from these stores are already are irradiated, so it has like
Oh, I've heard
it's been
that. Yeah.
irradiated to get rid of pests and all that.
They sterilize it by irradiating it. I mean, the scientific line, and it's actually a plausible line, is that it's perfectly safe. It's irradiated with what? I don't remember what kind of radiation, but it's not a radiation that is residual. But a lot of people are also annoyed by that because it essentially sterilizes a product that is not normally sterile in nature. And in many people's opinion, kind of takes something away from the weed. I don't know if that there's a, I mean, you could definitely prove that, or you could test it. You could just basically test a bunch of samples, but I don't know that anybody has or has any incentive to do so. So I don't know that anyone's going to do that. But anyway, it certainly seems like a plausible argument. It just seems weird to me to irradiate, like they irradiate fruit, for example. I don't know, dude. Like, yeah, I
Hmm.
understand, like to get rid of fruit flies and all that kind of stuff. It is definitely an easy way to get rid of the most obvious pathogens. It's a little bit like pasteurizing milk, obviously, but at the same time, it's also a little bit unnatural. There's something unnatural about pasteurizing milk, for that matter. Not that I'm pro anti-pasteurization, but the people who don't like it, there is logic in their argument, basically, that essentially you're removing a lot of the, yes, pathogenic microbes, but also the beneficial microbes in the process of pasteurization. There's truth to that, right? Anyway, but
Oh, I can't find it. Shit. You
yeah,
guys should see
not that
this
I would
picture.
recommend. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was looking for a picture of Justin Trudeau before he became prime minister. How he used to dress. He dressed like a weirdo guy. Weirdo.
Who, Trudeau?
Yeah.
Dude wore normal clothes. What is it your guys' obsession with him? Like he wore normal fucking clothes.
No,
Like
he
you guys
didn't.
really? Okay, I'm gonna every time I saw him he was in like a sharp suit.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna look up
that's when he's
what's
like
his name?
prime
Is
minister.
he Justin? Justin, because Pierre was his dad.
Right.
Trudeau clothes. I love how I type his name and it comes up worst prime minister ever. You guys hate his guts so much.
Yeah.
All right, so weird clothes. Let's look. You guys are so fucking. I mean, I have to be honest. This is probably how we talk about our politicians, because it's a little bit unhinged. All right, so he wore a kilt one time, but I bet you he was in Scotland. I betcha. That Canada-India celebration. All right, that makes perfect sense. The rest of the time, what's wrong with that?
This is like when he was prime minister. I saw this picture of him before he was coming home and his mom was in the street waiting for him. He was yeah, he was just weird, man.
I don't know, dude. I think you guys might
I'll
have
be,
a complex or a compunction or
I'll
something.
be
I don't know,
happy
man.
when you
Justin
know.
Trudeau, weird clothes.
I'm not sure, pardon the
All right,
dank.
his pants are cracked open. Uh, he's wearing a hoodie.
There's one with his shirt off. Oh God.
And what? No, now I have to be honest, you're reaching. Like, oh, took a picture with his shirt off. Dude's a young guy. Why wouldn't he?
No, no, I know. No, there is a picture out there of him. I'm gonna look for
I
it.
mean, I can't, yeah, please feel free because I'm just like, I think you guys are maybe exaggerating a little bit. Like, he's
But this
fine.
was,
I don't know, man. Like,
don't
what the
forget, this
fuck?
was,
Well, from the US, like, I didn't hear any crazy shit. I heard Melania was super into him apparently. So the joke down here is that Trump is like trying to take over Canada just because she's sweet on Justin. That's probably not true, right? But it's really funny
no.
to think. Uh,
Yeah, there's
uh, it would be very amusing.
Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel was part of that joke. There's a picture of Melania and Justin Trudeau, and she's
Mm.
like this, looking like all Google eyes
Yeah,
at
yeah, yeah.
him.
Yeah, I think it might have been skewed perspective, but even still, it's a really funny picture. Because yeah, she's like, oh my God.
Yeah,
Oh, this is actually a good one.
I'll be happy when he's out. Thank
Carl
you.
Sagan's baloney detection kit. This is what you have to. This is what we have to use now for. Okay, why do they always change this? So annoying. There we go. Portion of screen. There we go. So, folks who don't know who Carl Sagan was, he was an astronomer, astrophysicist. He passed away maybe about 20 years ago, 20 years ago. He was also a big time stoner, actually. A lot of people don't know that. He really, like, he had parties where people just get fucking wrecked. He also apparently had orgies and stuff, so he was definitely a libertine, but a big time fucking stoner. Allegedly grew weed at some of the different like boony
Nice.
observatories that yeah, like allegedly, because you know you can't fucking prove that stuff these days. None of the universities would want to hear about it, but yeah, like allegedly grew a lot of weed up in the hills in Costa Rica and shit. I don't remember which observatories he worked at, but anyway, still. So, what is his The Demon Haunted World? Science is a Candle in the Dark. That's a spectacular book, by the way. Carl Sagan's Baloney Detection Kit, all you need for this new age of bullshit. So he put some sources in the comments. If you guys want, I can post a link to this particular Reddit thread. This is on Reddit Skeptic. Number one, independent confirmation of facts. Always check if claims are supported by multiple independent sources to avoid biases or errors from a single source. This is one of the biggest problems that people who teach themselves, autodidacts, and you find that a lot in politics, you know, people who are doing their own research, they stop at the first source. And that's fine. But if you stopped at the first source when you were growing, you would still be making a lot of mistakes. And so, in very much the same way, when you stop at the first source with political research, you are often misinformed because you can't help but only know one part of the story. Two, encourage substantive debate. Engage in discussions that critically examine all points of view. Avoid debates filled with name calling or distractions and focus on evidence based arguments. I think that speaks for itself. Three, do not accept arguments from authority. This is a big one.
Found it.
Experts and authorities can be wrong. Here, let me read this first. D. Experts and authorities can be wrong, so even their claims need to be scrutinized carefully. Skepticism is essential when evaluating any assertion. Doesn't matter who said it, they could be wrong. People are always wrong at some point. And at the same time, if someone is wrong, always wrong, a broken clock can be right twice a day, right? So you should always listen to every source, not with equal voice maybe, but still, you should always be open to multiple sources, even if you've never been willing to listen to them before. Four, consider multiple hypotheses. When faced with a problem, come up with various possible explanations and test each one systematically to identify the most valid hypothesis. This is something that people should do more in grows and be more inquisitive as well. Five, don't get attached to your hypothesis. This is a huge one. Avoid becoming emotionally attached to your own ideas. This is unfortunate, I think, the root of a lot of the drama that happened on this show. Some of the people I could name a couple of names. You can probably guess who I'm thinking of. People with big egos, they couldn't be challenged. That's very much a recipe for disaster because you can't always be wrong, no matter who you are. Here comes Smashed. I'll read it again. Avoid becoming emotionally attached to your own ideas. Be open to changing or discarding them if they don't hold up under scrutiny. This is a big one because if you're wrong about something, you're better off throwing that wrongness away instead of doubling down on it like a lot of dum-dums. Six, quantify claims when possible. Use measurable data and numerical evidence to evaluate claims as they provide clearer, more reliable conclusions than vague or qualitative statements. Speaks for the fucking self, right? Ensure logical consistency. For an argument to hold, every part of it must be logically sound. If one premise is flawed, the entire argument collapses. So you have a wonderful fucking argument, but it was based on feet of clay. The fucking thing falls apart. Apply Occam's razor. When two hypotheses explain the data equally well, choose the simpler one that requires fewer assumptions. So Occam's razor, basically, between a simple and a complex solution, you essentially cut through and basically choose, normally it's going to be the simple one. Falsifiably, I've oversimplified that itself, honestly, so that's kind of a joke. Falsifiability. Ensure that the claims or hypotheses you encounter can be tested and potentially proven false. If they can't, they aren't useful for building meaningful explanations. That's also good for growing, too, by the way. Anyway, Carl Sagan is always worth listening to. Smash, what's up, buddy? Oh, well, we'll say hello to Smash before we look at that photo, D.
Huh?
We'll say hello to Smash before we take a look at that photo.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, of course. All is smashed. I go on.
Can't hear you if you're talking. Oh, you might be getting ready. Well, go ahead and show it, D.
Okay, I found that picture here. Yeah, where to go? That's what he used to dress like.
But I mean, that was like in the dude, that car is old. That's like in the fucking 90s. Like that is not unusual in the 90s. Dudes wearing cutoff shorts and a button shirt. No, that is not unusual, D. Like I have to
Uh,
be honest, at this point, that is not unusual, dude. That's not unusual today. But like in Canada in the fucking 90s, I mean, what was he supposed to be wearing? A jean jacket?
I don't know.
I don't know. Am I wrong, folks? Shit, I don't even know. Tell me I'm wrong about this dude. I'm just like, what the fuck? You guys have a thing with him.
Yeah, I can't wait till he's gone.
That's
Welcome
fine.
back, Smash.
Southern Vermont vintage saying my baloney has a first name. It's SCAR.
Wait, what? Am I in like Top Chat or something? Oh, I
Showing
am.
his
That's why
AI
I can't.
pictures. Dude, like Toyman's Grill, seriously, no disrespect, because you're entitled to your opinion. But it sounds unusual. He's saying Trudeau is nothing but a buffoon, the laughing stock of the world, a complete fool who doesn't even know how to run a country. Instead, he knows how to run people's pocketbooks into the ground. Okay, that last part of it, I don't know. That perhaps is an opinion, or I'm down here, south of the border, so I don't keep up with it. But I don't think he's the laughing stock of the world. He's certainly not the laughing stock of the U.S. We've never heard like, oh, Trudeau's a dipshit. Like, no, the opposite actually. People were really impressed with him. Um, I mean, am I wrong, guys? Chime in. Feel free. By the way, welcome, Smashed. I don't remember anybody saying anything bad about him, and I know they don't make fun of him in Europe. I think they're like googly-eyed about him, I guess, if anything. That's pretty funny. Um, so yeah, I don't know. Like you guys might have. It's very interesting because you could say the same thing about the way we talk about Trump, and of course we Americans would say the dude is real deal awful, honestly. And I think there's a gigantic world-shaking difference between Trudeau and Trump. And so even there, like I don't know how you could compare the two. For example, Trudeau is not a far-right lunatic, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm curious though, because it might for some people on the outside, it might sound like the way you're sounding about Trudeau. It might sound the way we talk about Trump. You know, it's an interesting. And by the way, it doesn't make any of us wrong. Like you might be right about Trudeau for all I know. I'm pretty sure I'm right about Trump. And at the same time, it could sound ridiculous too, right? It's one of those things. Anyway, Smash, I keep saying hey, but I keep talking over you. What's going on, buddy? Okay, we keep not having any Smash. There he is.
Maybe.
He's working on it.
Oh, oh,
He's almost
there,
there.
man, the myth, the legend.
That's right.
Hey, bud. I go on a
Here's Bud. We got the
listen to
green light finally. Good to see you.
listen to the Dead right now. Actually,
Oh, that's annoying. So he had to replace a tote valve, had to cap it because the new valve was 3 inches when it needed to be 2.5 inches.
Hey now. Hey now.
Well, so folks, we got people on the show, but none of them are talking, so it's not helping too much. You should hop on here, folks, to make it a conversational show. It definitely flows a little bit easier when there's more people chatting. So, folks, please do hop on here. I definitely don't like shows with dead air, so I'm not going to really tolerate a show
Thanks,
that's just
man.
kind of nobody talking for long periods of time. So if that happens, we're probably just gonna, bag it up for the evening. But folks, we would love to hear from you. We'd love to. Oftentimes we go for another few hours, so we would love to have some folks hop on here. Oh, there's Smash. What's going on, buddy?
So watching the fights.
Right on. I guess I don't follow the fights. Who's playing or who's fucking playing? I was just thinking about soccer. Who's fighting?
It's a pretty good card overall. I think it's Alex Pereira and one of these Russian guys. They're both like 20. He's 12. Alex Pereira's 12-2, and the Russian guy's like 20-2.
Hmm.
It is going to be a
Pretty sure I've
fucking
heard that
battle.
name. Oh, it happens, bud. He's saying he thought he had
Yeah.
everything to do, but fucked up. He's a dummy. Well, we've all fucked up with this
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
This is going to be a fucking battle.
I just forgot I have T-Mobile is a ridiculous company to have a cell phone with these days, but I still somehow have T-Mobile, and they gave me free MLS for the year. We're getting feedback off somebody. Who is that? Is that you smashed or who is that? Oh, it was D. So no, it wasn't D. Still, it must be you smashed.
What does it sound like?
It's just an echo like half a second later.
Echo. Echo.
Nope, we keep losing hardcore.
Hardcore. Oh man, maybe it was.
Facts don't have anything to say. Isn't Trudeau related to King Louis XIV and King Edward I of England? I wonder if he is. I bet.
I have no idea.
With a name like Trudeau, maybe he is, because the French and English are pretty closely related. I wonder.
Trudeau.
Who was it? Oh, now I'm forgetting. A couple of our presidents were related to Henry VIII. Who was it?
That's
Franklin
cool.
Roosevelt? No, not really. Well, probably in a distant way. Shit.
Or
I mean, everyone's related a little bit, I guess, but let's see here. What presidents?
or I am not a crook.
Nixon? He might have been. Ancestral background of presidents of the United States. That's kind of funny. Here we go. Of course,
That's
coming
kind of
back.
dirty.
Most common ancestry of U.S. presidents is English. Due to its origins as a group of former English colonies, that makes perfect sense. With the exception of Martin Van Buren and possibly Eisenhower, every president has ancestors from the British Isles. Van Buren, no, we're still getting that fucking feedback.
Yeah, that's me. It's my phone. It's my old phone.
Oh,
Old Bluenose.
that's weird. Well, maybe put on headphones or something.
Yeah, give me a second.
Right on. So, Van Buren was Dutch, Eisenhower was German and Swiss. John Kennedy and Donald Trump are the only known presidents who did not have ancestors who arrived during the colonial period. Barack Obama is thus far the only president to have ancestry from outside of Europe. His paternal family, of course, is of Kenyan Luo ancestry. He's also believed to be a direct descendant of John Punch, a colonial-era slave born in modern-day Cameroon. There's no evidence that any president has had indigenous American ancestry. I could have sworn one of them was related to at least Henry VIII, I remember reading. Oh, never mind. Maybe it's too many generations. Johann Peter.
Well, we talked about Van Buren last week. Old Bluenose. The drunkest president.
We've talked about some old ass presidents recently. Isn't that amusing?
Yeah. He was the he didn't what's that? He drank that juniper. I think it was called juniper alcohol or something like that. It was from Dutch.
Oh yeah, I can't think of the name.
But yeah, because
Uh,
he's Dutch.
it's
So
not
that's it's
gin.
a Dutch
It's
drink.
fuck. I can't think of the name. Trying to look through this list. They do have a bunch of different relatives for these people. Like
These
there's
people,
somebody
these
Martin
people,
Van Buren, Cornelis Mason Van Buren, third great grandfather from Bourmalsen, the Netherlands, from 1631. But so far, nobody that I can see, like King James the Fifth.
They wanted $91 to watch this fight.
Dear shit, you didn't pay $91, did you?
You crazy?
Mhm.
Talking to the cheapest person
Ridiculous.
here.
I was hoping shit.
I'd watch it on
I
my
was like, dude, I
computer.
don't know if God and Mike Tyson, when he was 22, I would pay $91. Literally, a
Is it
fight
okay if
between
I
him
give
and
out?
God. Pardon? Oh, it's better
Is
now,
it
yeah.
okay if I give out where I'm watching it?
Uh, hypothetically.
Hypothetically, it's called Stream East.
Uh,
It's very touchy. You'll get a bunch of ads, but it does work.
nice. Yeah, these days when our fucking government is stealing from us, I don't know if I care anymore about like I used to be, oh, you shouldn't pirate, da da da. People deserve to make a living. No, I'm just like, yeah, fuck it. Everybody can do it
Yeah, but
themselves.
it's
We
not
just
like
have to
I'd ever.
survive this shit at this point, you know?
It's not like I'd ever like. They're $500 tickets to go there. UFC's making a ton of fucking money.
Oh yeah, I'm not worried about Dana
Hands
White.
over fist.
Let's all put out a fucking prayer collection cap for Dana White. He needs all of our money a little bit more. Facts Don't Have Feelings says, I think all but one president is related to one of the families from the Mayflower. I feel like I've heard that before.
it's
I don't
it's funny
remember
we're
for the
talking
life of me
about.
what family, but that one family got around, if you know what I mean. What's that, Smash?
It's funny you said T-Mobile. They're at the T-Mobile Arena.
Oh my fucking God, I'm about ready to quit with them. Such a crappy company. I've
Oh,
just been with them
harvested.
for so long that I've like grandfathered whatever. But even then, they actually just raised their price. I was promised for ever not to have the price raised, and sure enough, they raised the price because nothing matters in America.
They
Nobody cares.
they find tricky ways to do it too.
Mm.
Like
Oh, sometimes they
so,
just
like
do it. Now they realize they can just do it.
we had Verizon. We were locked in at the old price, and then like they snuck in if you upgrade your phone
Mm.
with
Yep.
blah blah blah, you would fucking
Yeah,
it
for
would
years, whenever I upgraded my phone, thankfully I'm a weirdo and I just keep my iPhones forever. But fuck me if they just keep working, right? But whenever I would go in, I had to make sure to tell them I don't want any changes to my account. No, please do not bring me up to the speed with the new bullshit, da da da, because they happily switch to you to the new line that's conveniently like
yeah.
40 bucks more and whatever. Shut the fuck up. Your service
They
is
told me
already not worth what I'm paying, you know? Fuck off.
they told me I
Dude, in
had
Europe, it's like
unlimited.
$10, $15 for unlimited everything. It's ridiculous. Sorry, Smash, to talk
So
over you.
no, you're good. Back in like not right out of high school, probably a couple years out of high school, I got Verizon, and I literally was like, I want unlimited everything I can have. How much is it? They said blah blah blah, and I said okay. And I go to use my hotspot. I used my hotspot because I was living in an apartment and we didn't have a router this yet. We had TV and
And
stuff.
you
We
get
just
a
didn't have a.
bill for like $200 in overage, didn't you? Because they're
It's
like,
way
oh,
more
it's
than that.
unlimited up to blah, 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 20 gigs. And then you're like, but wait, that doesn't actually mean unlimited. No, 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 no. Unlimited dial-up speed, unlimited downloading of the speed that we give you. So like the entire sentence doesn't make sense because it's not even unlimited speed or something, which of course would be
I think
what, light speed or some shit. So they can't say that. So unlimited downloading for the first 2 gigs, and then after that, da 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 da.
yeah, it was. It was like $1,000 bill.
Yeah, they all. Oh my fucking God, seriously.
I just dipped and went to T-Mobile because I called them
Yeah,
and I'm
those
like, listen,
companies
I
call them
I went in
rapacious
there.
as yeah.
I asked for unlimited everything. Like talks, text, hotspot, anything on my goddamn phone. I wanted unlimited, and you're trying to charge me this much? You can kick rock.
It's something else. This country has become an extractive scam, you know? Well, it's not only just people trying to make money, it's like an extractive scam no matter where you look. It's absolutely asinine. Anyway, welcome anybody who haven't said hello to. Is anybody? Well, not really. Honestly, we have everybody. Oh, VT's in the house. What's going on, buddy? He says
What?
hi. What's up, VT?
Green light to go.
What else in here? All ancestors in Canada or in the US are either from the UK or European descent. Well, not true. There's a lot of Asians, especially on the East Coast. I would say both Canada and America. Um, Goodness gracious, all of Japanese in Victoria, Chinese in Victoria, Vancouver. What else?
Yeah.
I know there were a bunch of different Chinese settlements. Same thing as in the US, mining settlements, railroad settlements, stuff like that.
Oh,
Uh, I don't even know if you guys treated them any better in China and Canada than you did in the US. But anyway, Japanese, of course, all up and down the West Coast, especially California, Seattle, where Flora Nugs is a big Japanese community. Actually, Seattle has both a Chinatown and no, Tokyo Town. What do they call it? Anyway, San Francisco
okay.
has a big
Yeah.
Tokyo Town. Pardon?
That's yeah. Well, Chef, I was just gonna say, go for it. Back to you. Shit, it was about Chinese. We have a Chinatown here in Toronto.
Oh, right on.
Downtown Toronto, it's called Chinatown.
We have a Chinatown in Portland, but unfortunately, it's almost completely depleted of Chinese businesses. There's a couple still. There's a couple restaurants, and there's a couple of there's a rice maker manufacturer. There's a couple other places, but it's really been depleted of Chinese businesses. What was I going to say? I was going to say something else. Oh, I guess they
Zoom
call
hates
it
me
Tokyo
tonight.
Town in LA. What's that, Smash?
Zoom hates me tonight.
Oh, yeah, I've had that before. So Tokyo Town in LA is kind of an odd hybrid because ever since the 1940s, basically when the Japanese got interned in camps by the US, they basically all gave up their businesses, either licenses or the entire businesses, to, in many cases, Korean owners. And ever since then, Korean owners have been basically, in some cases, taking care of the businesses for the families, and in some cases, they just kind of took over the businesses. And essentially, all the restaurants and stores and everything else in Tokyo Town are basically Korean-owned businesses that are essentially kind of like keeping the tradition alive. It's an odd thing. Like they're actually apparently doing it on purpose to keep the um, Japanese family's name alive or whatever. It's kind of an odd thing, you know. It's
Here,
they're still making money on it, so it's not completely out of the goodness of their own heart. But they could totally replace it with Korean businesses if they wanted to. There's absolutely nothing keeping them from doing it. So evidently, it's out of honor to the. That's what I've heard. I don't know if that's the gospel truth, of course, but that it's
here,
in honor of those families. Anyway.
here's a fun fact.
Oh no, no.
Here's a fun Star Trek fact. George Takei from the original Star Trek, he was actually in one of those Japanese internment camps.
Not that fun, honestly.
Oh,
Wait, he just. Sorry, go ahead.
no, go for Smash.
Nothing. I just watched the shittiest fight in the world.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Worst submission, but
Wait, was it worse than the Paul Tyson fight? I mean, be honest.
no, they had no. It was a little bit more physical, but the tap out was crazy. It was
Oh,
so minimal. It didn't look like he had
oh,
it locked in.
oh. That's one of those things. You're not the guy getting pounded on. That's one of the most amusing things to me about armchair quarterbacks and I don't know, armchair fighters, I guess. It's like, dude, you weren't there getting your skull thumped, you know, like, oh, you should have held for another 5 rounds. I would have totally knocked a guy in the dick. No, it would have been fucking, everyone, the crowd would have cheered,
What
bro.
submission did he have? Oh, he got him in a Kimura. I see it. Okay, it was a good. It was actually pretty good.
Is
But
that
you
named
couldn't
after
say,
the Italian mob or some shit? What was
ah,
it?
when you got your legs wrapped around their head.
Oh, well, that could be a
It's
metaphor
like
for
a
the Italian mob.
it's like a choke out with your legs.
Uh,
That was a good fight,
that'll
actually.
do it. What's up,
They had the
Polyfix?
worst angle. It
So
looked
was it a
like
good
that.
fight or was it a terrible fight?
Yeah, it was a good fight. And now that I see the angles, it was a good tap out. I didn't
We'll
think.
see.
I thought the ref called it early because the angle they had.
The angle of the
Um,
dangle, as they say.
I harvested hood candy.
Did you? Nice.
Yeah. I'm gonna harvest papaya rum cake probably tomorrow. Then give apple fritter, chemo, and chem dog to chemo a little bit, probably another week or two.
Right on.
They look like they're still getting a little bit thicker. The ones that I'm taking down aren't like gaining any weight or any, you know what I
Mhm.
mean?
At that point, it's just like, might as well take them down. Sometimes they mature, it depends on the plant, right?
Yeah, but
But sometimes they just freeze and do nothing.
once I see the freeze and it's like 65 days, I'm like, all right, you're a
Mhm.
stroke flower, huh? Because like the chem dog still looks like it's bulking up a little
Hmm.
bit.
That almost makes sense because that chem line, I want to say, was more of like a 70-day cross. I feel like I've heard people saying that. So that could make sense.
You know how much they're selling Lumpy's apple fritter around here? $400
You can get it, I guess. You
I
know
was
how
like,
much
damn,
they're selling apple fritter for on the West Coast?
over here. Yeah,
No, but
Lumpy's
over here, do you know how much they're selling apple fritter for? Legit, Lumpy's apple fritter, like fucking some in
50
some
bucks.
cases certified. The most $50. Like Archive when they have it. I don't remember if they have it now because they rotate their menu, but they've definitely had the lumpy cut, apple fritter, da, 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 da. And I remember at some point I was gonna get it. I can't remember if you were saying you wanted it or someone on the show wanted it. I was like, oh shit, I could just literally drive over there and get it. Uh, it's usually I think $30 or it might be 40. No, yeah, it's I think $40. I think it's $40. And in California though, at one of the dispensaries that Flores showed me, he showed me three, but I only had a chance to go to two of them. Buds and Roses, Green Dragon, and what was the third fucker? I can't remember, but I guess I didn't go to that one anyway. So one of those two, it was like fucking $20, literally $20 for a
Jeez.
legit cut. And they're trying to
You,
charge $400 in Massachusetts. Just shut the
do
fuck
you know
up.
what
It's
I
so
want
idiotic.
really bad?
It's not
Blue Zushi.
Blue Zushi. I've heard that one definitely. Let me think if I've seen a clone of that one. I don't know if I've
They
seen a
want
clone of
a
that.
couple grand over
To the
here.
fuck? What's Blue Zushi? Blueberry and Skittle something or what?
No, I don't remember. I looked it up the other day. I think it's a gelato Z cross, but it's really good.
I'm kind of fed up with gelato crosses, to be honest. It's just all the same shit, reshuffled. I don't know. They're good. Like, I really want to get the white runts back, but other than that, I'm just like, I don't know.
I wish I
Yeah,
had a
I
third
think
phone.
I had biscotti, and I think I didn't get a good finish on that one because I think that was one of the ones that I was out of town for, and it was still a pretty small plant. And I got a little bit of flour from it, but not all that much. So I feel like I would get the biscotti back, but in fact, the
I'm
biscotti is
not.
actually not the same breeding. So now that I think about it, that's got the Florida OG, I want to say.
I'm
So what
not
do they
on my
have? Oh, they got some
computer.
stuff that you like, I think, at Archive right now. They got the Kush Mints.
I like Cushman's.
Oh,
Go
they got
get
the
that.
Super Boof again. What
That's good too.
else?
Pushmans
Uh,
are good.
Memory Loss. That's excellent. They've got the GMO again.
I take that too.
Uh, and I have to be honest, on the West Coast, they probably charge the most for the GMO. So that's the only thing that I hear people complain about with Archive. But the plants are usually gigantic too. So usually, not everything, but usually the plants you get are just the plant itself. They usually give them in the little, it's a soilless mix, I guess. Primarily, I think peat mixed. So just like one of those little cups. And the plant is usually, foot and a half tall or something. There's usually at least five nodes, usually like seven nodes on there, so you can take 4 or 5 clones right away and still have a nice mother.
It's because
So that's, in my opinion, it's worth the money, honestly. Go ahead.
it produces too.
Yeah, and they're always healthy. Like I've never once had PM or anything like that from them. which I can't say for other places, especially places in Portland. There are other clone shops in Portland that I've just stopped bothering. Even though they have good genetics, I'm like, nah, I'd have to quarantine it for a fucking month. I don't have space and time for it, so I just don't even bother. But like Archive, take it to the bank, basically. You don't even, honestly, you don't even have
Can
to fucking quarantine them. You should anyway, but still,
can you do me a favor?
go for it.
Can you look up Blue Nerds? I'm not at my computer, and I'm both my phones are
Blue
occupied.
Nerds.
Or no, sorry, Blue Zushi.
Zooshi.
It's like sushi with a Z.
Oh, there we go. Zushi.
I've heard that before. So I've heard that's a good one.
So they have it on
Sushi?
Leafly. Who else? They have it on Seed Finder. Blue Zushi from Grower's Choice, apparently. What, the lighting company? It's apparently Kush Mints and Skittles. There you go. Okay.
I don't think I thought it was a company called Tenco.
Maybe it's white labeled, you know. At the same
Yeah,
time, this is what Seed Finder is saying, so let's check what I
you
trust
probably
Seed
can
Finder
find
more
it.
than I trust Leafly, but let's take a look. So actually, Leafly doesn't say who made it. They just say Blue Zushi is an indica and a hybrid cannabis strain made by crossing Skittles and Kush Mints. They reversed the order this time. The effects of Blue Zushi are believed to be euphoric and relaxing.
Yeah, but it hits. It hits me. I use all buds a lot.
Oh, there was a link for all buds. Let's take a look. There we go. Created by crossing, they call it Skittles by Kush Mints this time too. Known for its gorgeous appearance, it's perfect for an indica lover. Fluffy forest nugs with deep blue undertones. Who made it? They don't say.
No breeder. Huh.
No,
It's a good one.
unknown.
I don't know. It hits me, and it's
I mean,
like
Cushman's
a
is good. That's from Jay Beasy. He famously breeds good stuff. I have the Cushmans, and I have never once had any luck with that fucking thing. I bought it from Archive before. I got it from California, and then I also got it from a friend one time. I've had it three times now that I think
California.
about it, and every single time it's been this teeny tiny little fucking plant that hardly ever veggies. So
Huh.
we'll see. I have it again now. Just giving it time. I just have it sitting in the veg garden doing its thing. We'll see if it just needs to come out of a funk or just whatever. I don't think it's sick. I think it's just a little piece of
Christmas is
shit,
awesome.
honestly. So I don't know. It's one of those plants that I'm like, yeah, maybe it's not meant for me. But it makes exceptional flower. I will say that. I did manage to flower it, I think, last year, and it was a small plant, but the flower was great, actually. Kind of creamy minty, I want to say. Super low yield, even on an outdoor plant. I think I had two fucking jars, like this size jar. So very, 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 very low yield, but
I've got
great flower though.
I've got some Oreo mints
Tenco.
now.
Oreo cookies, I hear, has decent yield. Yeah.
Oreo mints.
Oreo mints, I bet would be
Go
good.
for
You get because Oreos, they complain about the lack of terps, which is so surprising from that name. I feel like if you name something Oreos, it's got to be flavorful like Oreos, right? But whatever, I guess I'm crazy. The Kush Mints would definitely bring some of that. And in fact, it would have a little bit of that chocolate in there too, probably from that cushiness.
Yeah.
So,
Kush Mints is an awesome strain. I
mm,
get that one too.
mm. Love for the Plant says, same in Colorado regarding clones. I've had mixed results with many places, but there is one that is always consistent, clean, and accurate. We just don't have the extensive selection that Archive has. Yeah. Archive's a
Okay,
very unique place, definitely owned by a weed nerd. I really want to, one of these days, I want to get back to the podcast and stuff. And that's one of my white whales. I want to see if I can get them on the show. They seem like very interesting people.
so
Here comes hardcore Kevin. What's that, Smash?
apparently, 10 co-founders, Stakes and Gary, have made their brand a cultural phenomenon with
Hmm,
the Zushi family of strains. So it's a company called Tenco.
I gotcha. I would
I
think a
can buy
company like
seeds of it.
Tenco makes video games, not cannabis seeds, but whatever.
I think they have a website. Hold on.
Oh, look at that. Test Nugs has the blue Zushi cut. Hasn't run it yet, but my buddy has. It's fire. Tenco from the UK. Okay. Tenco. Tenco. Oh, Tenco. Fascinating. Glad to see some UK breeders represented. You hear too little from anybody overseas. Oh, we're gonna hear a bunch from the French and Germans. Well, I hope from the Germans.
Oh,
Bud keeps saying that they're not really gonna grow very much in Germany, but I hope they will.
Kaiser.
If Ukraine could fucking shake off Russia, they've been threatening to legalize weed.
This has
That'd
got
be
to
Yeah.
be a fake
wonderful.
website. It looks like they're selling like
Come on, folks, come join the conversation. We're normally on here for quite some time. Like I was saying earlier, I don't really want to have a kind of dead air show where nobody's really talking. So if we don't get some more people, I know Smash doesn't stay on. We're getting a ton of feedback against Smash. This is so annoying. Is it you or is it? It must be you. Hey, he's on headphones now. Did you make sure to switch your Zoom to headphone output? Why would we still be? That's weird. It doesn't pick up on two microphones. We'll figure it out. So folks, would love to hear from some new voices. If you guys have been on the show before, you're more than welcome to. We'd be happy to post the link for you. If you've been on the show before, you are welcome back, right?
better.
Just don't be a dick. Let's see. I don't hear myself talking now. I don't hear any
Go.
echo. Yeah, I think better.
What the fuck?
I don't know, man. It's cursing
Yeah,
me
my
today.
old phone. But that's why I got a new phone. This one was started to act really weird.
Uh,
Still works though. It's a good emergency phone in case like I shatter my phone or something.
yeah, yeah, I gotcha.
I got a super thick case. That's
Nice.
why
I
my
do.
phone's actually encased in a case.
Yeah, mine is
Screwed.
too.
I dropped mine and
You would have
shit.
to break the first case to get to the second case, and you will not break the
Exactly.
second case because I
Well,
will break you first.
that so my case is broken in like multiple different spots, but it still protects my phone because it's like D's saying, it's got a shell.
Nice.
But this phone's different. It's a Samsung, and it's got like a curved screen on it.
Oh yeah.
So I'm so worried about those corners.
Mhm. Yeah, that was a weird design choice.
I
The
like it
Note,
though.
is
It's
that what it
cool.
is? The Samsung Note? Yeah, it looks slick and stuff, but definitely a lot harder to keep safe.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, apparently mine is waterproof as well, but
Oh, that's cool.
I still wouldn't put it in any water.
That's been one of the nicest improvements of the newer iPhones. I don't even think mine was the first one, but it was one of the first generation to be water
Water
resistant. So I could
resistant.
take it to I used to go to the soaking pool up in Portland and you name it, it was cool. Like you can't unsubmerge the fucking thing, right? The pool, couple places I went to the hot tub, my place down in California when I had it, and I got the phone nice and
California.
wet. Then I shook it off and stuff, and no problems, right? But in the past, oh fuck, the phone would have. First of all, it would have tripped the water sensor. Apple has always been a douchey company with the water sensors.
On the
So if it even
batteries.
sensed moisture, even if it didn't touch moisture, if the moisture, it's like
Yeah.
a
Sensor,
chemical
yeah.
moisture sensor, even sensed enough moisture, it would trip, and then they basically would void your warranty. Fuck.
Motherfucker, I'm sorry. I was using my phone on a rainy day.
I know, like, what the fuck? I was using my phone in the human world. Fuck you. Like, oh, you made it 15 millimeters or 15th of a millimeter thinner and also not waterproof. Thank you for that. Fucking Apple,
This is
dude.
gonna be a good
Anyway,
fight. Damn
finally
it.
they made it water. Probably after everybody else did, you have to admit, but whatever. At least they did, right? So at least we can give them credit for that. Tap them on the back like a good little boy.
Raphael, 8 wins by
Tell Snugs is
knockout.
saying, cheers, smokers.
All
Dude, they're
Johnny
doing a
Five to their life.
they're,
Oh, there's J
they're
5.
doing a ton of advertising for new Assassin's Creed.
We're not
Oh, I
touched
played
on.
Assassin's Creed back in the day. That was a great game.
Yeah, they kind of just made it too many of them.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. Just like they're gonna milk the shit out of the Bond franchise. Did you hear the terrible news? Amazon basically bought the Bond franchise from the Broccoli family. Literally from the Broccoli family. It's such a hilarious story. You probably think I'm making it up, but the same
What?
family that developed the vegetable broccoli owned the Bond franchise, basically, and Barbara Broccoli was the most recent granddaughter, I want to say, of the original Broccoli that bought the franchise. Anyway, they really didn't want to give up the franchise. It's like a family business basically for them. They were really intent on it. They made a fuck pile of money, but they could have made more money actually if they had loosened control before. But they were always very famously tight on the franchise. They wanted to always have some gravitas and whatever, so they wouldn't release too many movies. They never did spin-offs and shit like that. Well, Amazon apparently just made them an offer they couldn't refuse and offered them like $1.5 billion. So this chick was also already wealthy, but now she's just fuck you rich. She and her business partner, I guess, they're just fuck you rich now, and they're like, okay, well that's enough money. And so now Amazon is talking about spin-offs. There's going to be like a Money Penny spin-off. There's going to be this, that, the other thing. They're probably going to have a Q show. There's going to be 57 different fucking James
I
Bond
made
movies a
you
year,
talk
and
about
they're going to be just as well written, if not better, than the Lord of the Rings spin-off that is so famously well written. Have you guys seen that? It famously was like a $400 million show for the first year, but it sucked shit. Like, it's so bad because they spent all the money on the sets, I guess, and the rights to the stories, and then nothing for the writers. They probably called AI and were like, "Chat GPT, give me a text for,"
Yeah,
and like the characters are wooden and stiff, and oh my fucking God, it's
like
like
your
it's actually
mama.
hard. Nice, it's hard to watch. Like it was one of those shows that for me, I don't know, to each their own, but that's I don't know, concurrent with the reviews, I want to say, it was just genuinely hard to watch. You're like, you paused, you're like, how much of this episode is left? And you're on the first episode, and you're just like, how much is
Oh
left?
shit. Supposedly Nintendo is coming out with like a digital N64.
Oh, that's cool. I heard they're coming out with a new system soon too.
Yeah,
By
Nintendo
the way,
hasn't released
Tesla, you
anything in a
can't tease
while.
us like that. You gotta, one of these days, you gotta share the love, buddy. Holy shit. He's just like, I got this thing. Oh, that thing you want for fucking that you've been dreaming about for 20 years. I got that too. I got five of them. I got 20. I got 20 of them. I got a whole tray
No,
of
no,
that thing that
no.
you've wanted for 85 years.
Oh, my phone fell asleep. That's not good.
D, you don't eat corn?
Yeah,
Corn?
What, you don't like it or what?
no, I have corn.
Oh, because you said, oh, you were just fucking around in the chat.
Yeah, I just make
Oh, I see.
that picture.
Because I've actually met people that like, oh, I won't eat corn, shit like that. I don't remember the last time somebody said
Corn?
corn, but I've definitely met people
Yeah,
who don't eat potatoes and rice and all. I mean, I understand if you're allergic and
that can be
that's obvious,
smashed.
but sometimes people are like, oh, I don't like starch or whatever.
Uh-oh.
It's actually, believe it or not, it's one of the reasons why for that is because humans barely digest corn. Yeah, and the only
No,
way that you actually
roughage.
can digest it is when it's been mixtamalized. What's it called when they basically make it for tortilla flour? They soak it in an alkali powder. It actually makes it a lot more digestible, as well as cornbread. I don't remember
Enzymes,
why it converts, but it does something chemically also that it's a lot easier to digest. Pardon?
enzymes, break
Yeah,
it down.
something with the enzymes changes with the corn, with the mixtamalization. Is that what it's called? They soak it in an alkali, and what does it do? Oh, for the life of me, I don't remember. That's the
Someone
same way you
broke.
make hominy. Uh, excuse me. Folks,
Oh
hop on the
fuck!
show. I keep saying it. I feel like a parrot. Polly want a cracker? Hop on the show.
Beat me to it.
I got it back on. Thank God.
I'm spelling this mixtamalization. There was nixtamalization. There we go. From the spruce
Three.
eats. Do you think it's a spruce tree that eats? I bet it is. Screens. What is nixtamalization? From Mackenzie Stratton. So we're going to just presume that this technology has not changed in the preceding 4 years because this is from 2021.
Oh,
Nixtamalization is the
yeah.
process of adding an alkali solution to dried corn kernels in order to transfer them into a nixtamal, a product that is more workable, tasty, and nutritious than it would have been otherwise. Nixtamalization is native to Mexico, where corn is one of the staple foods. The exact history of nixtamalization is unknown, but it has been used by native Mesoamericans for millennia. In fact, nixtamal is derived from two words in the indigenous Mexican language, Nahuatl. I'm sure I always mispronounce that. Fuck you with these pop-ups, motherfucker. And it like moves the thing too. Nextly, meaning ashes, and tamale, meaning corn dough. Oh, I didn't realize that that was not a
See,
Spanish word. I thought it just meant a filled ball. See, my Spanish is pretty terrible. Nixtamalization starts with the raw ingredients, just dried corn kernels and calcium hydroxide, also known as lime, or by its colloquial name in Mexico, cal. The dried corn kernels are, oh, you need some Cal Mex. You need some Cal Mex from Cal from Mexico and pour that on your fucking plants. I don't know, it's fun in my head. The dried corn kernels are boiled in a water and lime solution and then soaked for 8 to 12 hours in the same liquid. At this stage, the kernels are now referred to as nixtamal and are quite different from before. This is because lime is highly alkaline, so it causes functional, chemical, and nutritional changes in the raw corn kernels. Nixtamalization breaks down the hard cell walls of corn and releases the pectin inside. This allows the masa to effectively bind so that when handled and cooked, it doesn't crack. The corn also puffs up in size and intensifies in color, flavor, and aroma. Finally, nixtamalization also improves the nutritional profile of corn, providing resistant starch and improving gut health, calcium, niacin, and B3 content. Isn't that cool?
It gets more flavor as it goes along.
100%.
let's play.
Fuck. What does he always say? He goes, oh, for fuck's sake, I can't remember.
Flavor.
Is that all he says? He says something else too, though, doesn't he?
I don't know if he
Fuck.
can. I think that's all I know.
He's actually a really bright guy.
Oh yeah.
Just his character is dumb as fuck, right?
Oh,
Fresh masa versus masa harina.
he's a
Both fresh.
character
Yeah, he's totally a character. Like, dude has, I remember,
himself
like
too.
multiple college degrees and stuff. Yeah, he's actually really bright. But both fresh masa and masa harina are made from nixtamalized corn, but the former is fresh corn dough, while the latter is dried and ground nixtamal. Uses flour. Harina means flour in Spanish. The most common brand of masa harina is Maseca, which is a veritable giant, both in Mexico and in the U.S. Okay, you probably don't care about all the rest of this. Anyway,
That's interesting.
isn't it?
Came the
I'll be
gourds,
going.
then came the
Uh,
corn, and the beans grew up the corn. Gourds, beans, and
Yo
corn.
mama likes to go up the beans, if you know what I mean.
That's gonna be my next food video. It's gonna be Mexican food.
You can't surely tell me you've never had Mexican food.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, thank fuck.
but
I was gonna say,
there's other.
what is this? What is this show? Oh my God.
dude, I got 20,000 views on something about
Oh, did you? Right on.
yeah, I went to market. We got a market basket. Oh my god, this is bad. And you can get a double. Actually, I didn't get a double that time. I got a bacon cheeseburger with potato wedges for $3.39 or $4.49.
Well, great
Ooh,
price. That's
going.
probably below cost, honestly. I mean, it can't. Normally, it wouldn't be below cost. Even Costco doesn't sell stuff for a loss, so I would assume that that's below cost. But if it's not, it's right close to there. God
They have a
damn.
butcher on site,
I mean,
so
maybe that because they have offcuts and stuff. Maybe they grind their meat fresh from offcuts, so that saves them money. So basically, instead of
it's good meat.
marketing it as stew meat, maybe they just grind it up and throw it in the burgers. I mean, still, a pound of beef now retails, a pound of ground beef retails for usually $6, $7, $8, depending on the store, sometimes more than that.
Yeah,
So
but you can get those
quarter
big
pound is
rolls.
250. You know what I mean? So you're talking about basically most of that 389 was already taken up by that cheeseburger. Then the potato's not that expensive, but the cheese, what else? All the toppings on there, that's easily over $1. So I mean, we're talking about basically again, below cost a burger and potato. That's not too shabby.
Um,
Uh,
I mean, again, I guess they're not paying retail for that beef. That's the only thing they're really saving on, you know? Because
you
again,
ever
the
go to
other
the
stuff is fairly
store?
inexpensive. The cheese they're not saving that much money on, but the beef they might
Probably
save money
not.
on.
But but it's a supermarket, so they got all
Mm,
they buy cheese by bulk.
mm.
You ever
And
go to
two
the
from the
store and get
deli, they
those
might they probably don't use offcuts from the deli, but still, anyway, go ahead.
like it's a big roll of like burger meat
New Orleans is a big role.
Mm,
It's like
Power.
5 pounds. It's meant for like parties and shit.
mm.
Those are always been cheap. And I think it's because it's usually the offcuts.
Hmm.
Oh, this is fun. Listen to this. Test Nugs is saying, when I was 13 at a hotel in New York City, the doorman was talking about Public Enemy was there. I turn around, Flavor Flav walks right up to me and says, "Yo, this place is crazy, G."
What?
I
It would have been
couldn't say
funnier if he
anything
would have said it
as
in
he walked
person.
away, clock swinging. What's that, Hardcore?
That's
It would have been
crazy.
funnier if he would have said it in person.
Flavor Flav.
Didn't
Was
he
it
also say help control the pet population? Have your pets spayed or neutered?
and he also like personally sponsored the what was it, women's
Volleyball.
gymnastics team? Yeah, volleyball team. Yeah, he's
I
apparently a cool
would
guy.
too.
Uh Apparently, I just missed Nicolas Cage one time. I used to go to this deli, Jewish deli, Greenblatt's in Los Angeles, and I went there fairly regularly. So the chick behind the counter kind of knew me, and evidently he had just been there. When I walk in, she's like, "Oh, you should have been here like fucking 5 minutes ago." That's the closest I
Isn't
ever got to
he
Nicolas Cage.
little Scientology?
I don't think so.
No, that's not him.
Tom Cruise is for sure.
Yeah, for
Oh
sure.
Oh,
God.
He's
but
their goal.
goddamn,
He's their
Scientology
goal.
is everywhere in Hollywood. You have no idea. Like every third building, it seems like a Scientology.
I actually know. I watch people on TikTok, and they've literally shut down. I don't know. It must be Hollywood or Melrose or something. There's a big Scientology church on one of the touristy
Oh fuck,
streets.
one on each. There's a huge one on Sunset. There's one on Melrose. There's one
I think
on
it's
I want to
Sunset.
say it's on Fountain. Yeah, that's like their kind of
God.
headquarters cathedral or whatever.
If you
What
walk by
else?
it,
Yeah.
It's
the
ridiculous.
the doors are usually shut
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
People, these guys go. They went there every day, and anyone they tried to recruit, they spoke Spanish. They're like, this is a cult.
Huh.
There's a Scientology building. Like,
It's sketchy because it's like an office building kind of. Florida, you go to like Florida, dude. I went to Clearwater a couple of times, and
Hmm.
yeah, you don't want to fuck around there.
Yeah, they
they'll
just
feed
throw
you
you in
to
a
the
cage.
alligator.
Yeah.
You'll end up missing like Miscavige's wife.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
They'll
I can't
feed you to
believe
the
it was fucking.
alligator.
Apparently, it's just easy as fuck to start a cult because every third person it seems like has a cult. Jared Leto, the fucking actor, has his own little cult. You name it. It's
No, come
like, dude,
on.
really? What's his fuck?
Looks like I can join a cult. Start a cult.
I
What
can't
about
think of
those
the guy's name.
restaurants?
Franco, Dave Franco, or James Franco. He apparently has a cult. What's that?
What about those restaurant cults?
Restaurant cult. That's a new one.
Yeah,
I've heard about Stanley Steamer, but what's with a restaurant cult?
I don't know. Supposedly there's a bunch of restaurants throughout the nation that are ran by a cult. They
I
work
followed
for
Bingus
free
if he
and
wanted,
stuff.
if he was like a cult leader. He was like
Okay, I'm
talking all
trying to think
smooth
of
and
what you're
shit.
talking about. The funny thing is, though, are you talking about sushi? How sushi is actually distributed by the what are they called? The the pejorative name is the Moonies. What's that cult called in Korea? The fuck Reverend Sun Young Moon. What's his group called?
Hold on, I'm looking it up.
I'm
Oh wait,
fun young
I
Oh,
gotta,
I
moon.
can almost think of it. You're gonna
Some
say
young
it, and I'm gonna be like,
guy.
fuck. Yeah, right.
I gotta be
Uh,
careful what
it's
I
the Hung
do.
Far Low cult. Fuck, what is it called? People's no. Anyway, they control sushi distribution, believe it or not. All the fish that comes from Korea and Japan basically and gets exported for sushi purposes, the overwhelming majority of it passes through that group, essentially. It was an intentional move by Sun Young Moon back in the 80s. They actually pushed, what do they call it? Sushi diplomacy. Anyway, Japan kind of embraced how do I put it? It was a weird cooperation because Japan realized it would be good diplomacy, and the existing distribution system was already there before Japan realized that. So in other words, they were already pushing to make sushi restaurants all over the place. The idea was that they were going to create this like sushi wave in America. So they did. They basically sent a bunch of people to California around Ventura Boulevard, basically. So to this day, there's like wall-to-wall sushi on fucking Ventura Boulevard in LA. And little by little by little, sushi culture took over because, of course, Ventura Boulevard is, by the way, where many of the porn
More and more
companies were
attention on there.
headquartered. So a lot of the porn producers and stuff were there eating sushi, making sushi and stuff. But a lot of the movie people, basically, because it's very
No
close to Warner
comment.
Brothers and everything else. So sushi culture basically immediately became part of movies and everything. Yeah, but what's the a full name of the Unification Church? There we go. Unification Church, the Moonies. That's it. So yeah, they actually control sushi. There's this famous chef, David Chang, who famously tried, and he's like a famous chef. And if anybody has power, he's the kind of guy who would do it. He was kind of
We
like
are trying.
Pearl Jam or something in terms of the rock music. And Pearl Jam went up against Ticketmaster. So just like Pearl Jam failed to go up against Ticketmaster, David Chang failed to be able to get sushi independently. He realized basically that you have to actually go through these fucking people. They're too dominant.
This is more of a hippie cult.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't eat the red
Because
Uh,
liquor,
I, I,
then.
I was trying.
Oneida Silverware was started by a sex cult.
Sign me up.
I can't look it up. I fucking every time I touch my Google, it fucks up the fight.
Oh,
Every time you touch your
happens.
Google,
That's right. I have a nickel. Nobody's hopping on. Is everybody watching the fights or what's going on? People hop on here. Cheers, Jim. Damn it, Jim, I'm not a Mooney, I'm a doctor. No, wait, I'm a doctor, not a Mooney. Oh, it,
I hate when they have.
Bones say it.
Oh, he's black. He's white. Okay, and that wasn't racial. That's the color of their shorts.
You were just looking at Spy versus Spy cartoons in Mad Magazine.
There you go.
Uh oh. Oh, ground
oh,
and pound.
Oh no, he's punching the other guy in the thing. Oh shit.
Yeah, when it's kind of crazy when someone's on the ground and you're just fucking whopping them. They allow 12 o'clock elbows now to the head.
Oh wow.
God, that stuff is so abusive for them long term. Ugh. I
womp, womp.
guess the
Chicken,
argument is
chicken.
they do it willingly, but son of a bitch, dude.
Yeah, but some of these guys, like I don't know. I box
I think it's
growing
for a
up and
lot of
stuff.
these guys, it's their, well, yeah, boxing has a long tradition and stuff, and so I think a lot of people realize there are dangers to it, but even still, I
It's a
think a lot of
race
people don't realize
outlet.
how great the dangers actually are. They say that any knockout or even wooziness actually is a form of a concussion, which is apparently really bad long term. Can cause what is it called?
And who wants
Neurotic
cauliflower ear?
errors or something. I can't think of the name for it. What's that, D?
Cauliflower ear?
Pardon?
Cauliflower ear?
Oh no, that's from like wrestling, for example. I mean, yeah, I guess if you get punched in the ear all the time,
Yes.
but you're not going to
CTE.
get stupid if you get punched in the ear. I don't think necessarily. I mean, I guess that's not true. They can damage your brain too. But what was I talking about?
Punch
Just the
Glass
long-term
Joe on the
damage of
chin
this
just
stuff.
right, he
Anyway, go ahead,
got
hardcore.
down.
What's that?
But if you punch Glass Joe on the chin just right, he goes down really easy.
It was Glass Joe.
Last jaw.
Mike Tyson punch out.
He's got to know that. Yeah, you got
Yeah.
it.
Oh, Mike Tyson, I don't think was fighting glass jaw people. He just hit like a truck.
No. It's a
It's a
video game.
game.
Oh,
Mike Tyson?
I think it was for Nintendo.
oh, right on.
And it was the arcade game as well.
Uh,
Cheers, Paulie.
Nice to
who was
play
the second guy? I know Glass Joe was the first one. Oh, it was that bull guy, the big fat guy. Punched him in the belly when he had like an X on taped on his belly, and he would go to breathe and he put his hands on his head. I can't remember his name is though.
Oh, you're not talking about
Something
Jelly
bull or
Bean.
something.
Oh yeah, Bull. Butterbean.
That's
Butterbean's
what it
in
is,
it too,
CTE.
isn't he?
Oh shit.
Maybe that's who it is. But I remember the second one. I
Right.
can't remember any other consecutive ones after that. But
Chronic traumatic encephalopathy, I think is what it stands for. And basically you get it from these, it's the long-term consequence of head injuries, basically, from really anything. You can get it from falling over at the job. But famously, football players, uh, uh, anyone in contact sports, really, boxers, MMA people, and it has not only medium-term effects, but also much worse long-term effects. They end up having
Football.
much shorter lives and stuff. Yeah, we
Wrestling.
really haven't like wrestled with this as a society. Like how many
Well,
kids did I
they're
know
working.
growing up that played football? How many parents and now people that I knew were parents now, and their kids are probably playing football. Uh, they didn't intend for their kids to grow up and be stupid in their old age. You know what I mean? I guess I'm being an asshole when I'm saying stupid, but you know what I mean?
So
Like that wasn't the intention, but of course, as you grow older, sometimes you learn more things. I don't know. Go ahead. People were trying to talk.
technology has advanced and
Hmm.
helmets have gotten way better.
Well, look at
And ironically, they say that might be part of the problem. I mean, I don't think there's any such thing as hitting people in the head with light padding or heavy padding that's going to be good for you. But they say that back in the day with the leather helmets that you see in the old-timey movies, kind of the
huh?
more rugby style, people don't lead with their head for obvious fucking reasons, right? Whereas these days, people oftentimes really do lead with their fucking heads, uh, even when you're not
Look
supposed
at
to. But go ahead.
look at old back in the day with the hockey players. They never used to wear helmets at all.
Mm.
And there's I'm not sure if I showed it on the show or not because it's hard to show without the volume on. It's my phone and shit, but there's a video of a Montreal Canadian, never wore a mask. I forget his name right now, but he gets hit in the face with the puck at like 100 miles an hour, breaks his nose, smashes up the side of his face. He goes in the back
I
and
got a couple of slap shots in the face when I was a kid.
gets
Yeah,
stitched
mama gets
up.
the shots to the face.
Uh, gets stitched up and then comes back out and he's wearing one of those Jason hockey
That
masks.
was yeah, I've seen those hardcore hockey guys where they'd break out their front teeth and just come back like the same round. They're just like, let me in, coach. They're all
Yeah,
bleeding. Fucking hockey. Uh,
that's an actual Canadian heritage moment commercial.
there you
Just
go.
like the another one was you were talking about the Chinese people and I guess it'd be Oriental whatever back in the day with the railroad. They have another
Chinese
Canadian
people probably,
moment
yeah.
one when they used to pay the Chinese guy to take the nitroglycerin in the little jar down the
Uh,
mine into the
oh
shaft
yeah.
to blow it up, and then boom! And they said there was 4 dead Chinese people for
Huh.
every so far of that
Oh wow.
mine or whatever it was, the railroad.
Huh.
A mine, I guess it was a mine. What's this? The dead? Oh yeah, it is. Right on.
Yeah, you have to wonder at their conversations with each other when they go home that night. They're like, well, who's gonna be tomorrow? Yeah, fucking hell.
Yeah. Well, it was they back in the day. Those days they stayed in camps right near the
Oh
Hmm.
shit, Dave's
mine.
Hot Chicken.
What?
Dave's Hot Chicken's a sponsor of the UFC. I didn't know that.
Oh,
Dave's
Dave's
Hot
Hot
Chicken
Chicken.
is getting bought out by private equity. So hurry up and eat there because it's going to get shit super fast.
Oh
Damn.
no.
Yeah, he's selling it for like $1 billion. I'm actually surprised it's not more than that because he has locations all over the fucking place now. But
Yeah, they
yeah,
just
what an
opened them up
explosive
here.
growth. It's just an absolute shame though because this is the typical path of great ideas in American capitalism. Somebody comes up with an amazing restaurant, it explodes because of course it should, and then private equity or somebody fucking buys it and strips all the value out before they're going to resell it because that's what they do. They don't actually give a shit about the business. They're just going to strip all the value out. Any real estate that the company owns, they're going to sell because it's much more effective for them to rent that for higher money in the future from the new buyer of their old place, and then they can write it off on their taxes. Da, 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 da. Anyway, makes sense when they sell it, and then the new company will have to recoup a huge amount of debt, not only their buying price, but also the debt that the company has acquired. And so yeah, say goodbye to Dave's Hot Chicken. Hopefully it'll be good for
My
the next
first
few months, but we'll see.
I've heard Nashville hot chicken's really good.
There's another one that people like, but I haven't been there yet. Fuck a duck. Oh, I can't
There's
think of it.
hot, hot, hotter than the face of the sun. Hot.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I like Dave's Hot Chicken. You can actually get spicy chicken sandwich, like actually like super, super, super spicy. And I have a very
No,
high tolerance for spice and like it's very, very spicy.
I
They
love
make you sign
spice.
a waiver if you want the hottest one.
Oh, really? No, at Dave's, no, they don't. You can order anytime you
My,
want.
my, my buddy signed it the other day.
Really? Well, it must be a new
Yep.
thing. It's probably private equity now. Like our liability insurance doesn't include this. No, I never had to sign shit.
She was like, "Oh, I don't have a manager on." And then she went to go talk to someone. And she's like, "All right, you got to sign these." It's
It
just a
has to be a new,
waiver.
it has to be a new policy. Yeah, it must be some new
You
thing.
must be this high to enjoy your chicken
Right.
sandwich.
You must be over this height to be able to have a chicken sandwich
No,
in
it
here.
was because of the, I don't know. I guess the spice level.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about, but it was
Yeah.
never that. Trust me, I've gotten the Reaper level. I don't even know how many times. The best flavor, honestly, is in the extra hot because sometimes they just dredge it through the fucking thing. I think it's the exact same spice they normally use, or maybe there is a different spice, but they probably run out of it basically, and so they just dredge it twice through the extra hot, and it's all powdery and bullshit. So the flavor is the best, even though it's a little bit less spicy. It's still quite spicy with the
Yeah.
very hot or extra hot, whatever the fuck they call it, the one right below the Reaper. But they'd never, ever, ever, not in California, not in Oregon. I don't know if I've ever gone to Washington, but I've definitely gone to California, and they didn't ever ask me to sign shit.
The
Hmm.
Reaper. Oh, the Reaper. Oh, there it is. Where is it?
J5, that's a very sophisticated joke. He's saying, you mean hard ore? So he's saying you have to mine the soft rock to get the hard core, I think.
Ghost pepper.
I was trying to say. What's that, D?
I
Ghost
wonder how much
pepper.
they.
What about ghost pepper?
That's the next one underneath the California Reaper.
Hmm, okay. Oh, that's
I
probably new because
wonder.
it didn't used to be ghost pepper because they didn't used to specify. Well, they specified the Reaper, but they didn't specify the other peppers.
How much do you think Joe Rogan gets paid for the UFC?
Oh, fuck ton. They throw money at him like a crazy person. Yeah.
And just he's on my screen right now talking in the middle of the ring.
Yeah. Apparently people love him.
Womp 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 womp
I don't
womp.
believe this
Uh,
guy won.
huh. Folks, seriously, hop on here. This is getting old now. By now we should have 5 or 6 people on here. Hop on, join the conversation, ladies and gentlemen. Join the show. I'm going to leave here in a little bit because I have work to do over there, and also it's dinner time, I think. So hardcore is basically sitting there in the background, quiet. So to be perfectly honest with you, the show might end really soon, ladies and gentlemen, because I bet you Smash will leave in the near future. So, folks, if somebody doesn't hop on here, I think I'm going to just bag it. I don't know. D, do you just want to sit here by yourself the entire evening? I kind of doubt it.
Sure. I can do that.
Guess if you want to.
I can.
Um, yeah, I'm probably whenever the main card starts, I'm probably gonna jump off so I can listen
Hmm.
to it.
Who's the main card?
Alex Pereira. Um,
Oh, I thought that fight already happened. Gotcha.
no, yeah, that's the last fight. It's gonna be crazy. It's funny. People are scared of him because they think he like I think he's native or something like that,
They think
and
he's
he
gonna
like
curse him or something.
yeah spirits and shit.
He's not just gonna beat you, he'll take your soul. I mean, good pitch.
One one fighter was like, "Oh, don't ask your spirits for help. Let's leave it on this earth." There's some bullshit.
Oh, I don't know if this is well, we'll see. Be kind of funny. Maybe everyone's just avoiding me. I'll take off and 20 minutes from now there's gonna be 15 people on here.
Odell Beckham and Patty Pimblin. He might be Mayan. I think he's Mayan
They were
or
pretty mean.
Aztec and one of I don't know. One he's some tribal stuff.
Aztec were kind of the new Maya, so yeah.
Oh wait, it says he fights for Brazil. So whatever's out of there, tribe in the rainforest.
Oh yeah, there's a ton of different ones. The
Then
Incas, I guess,
then
were down there, but yeah, maybe he's an
and then
Inca.
and then you get the fucking Russians.
Duh.
Actually, what flag is that? White,
Is
blue,
vodka
red.
and sadness.
The Dagestan. Do they have their own flag?
Dagestan's a republic of Russia, yeah. It's in the Caucasus,
Uh,
primarily Muslim.
My vodka.
that's where, yeah, all these fucking Russian guys are out of Dagestan and shit.
Hmm.
Where's my Balkan bread?
Thing is, yeah, they're fucked down there. They train all day, all night. It's like
Yeah, they have nothing else there. Yeah.
These are butts off.
It's probably one of
Las
the reasons
Vegas.
why they are so dominant. Because honestly, you hear about what Chechnya, Dagestan, all that. Yeah, they just have
People
nothing to do but
say
train.
people say in the war you do not want to run into the Chetnians or Chets.
Oh, I think that's bullshit. No, they're cowards. That's their bullshit reputation. No, they're the TikTok hardcore bullshit. No, they're all behind the enemy lines and stuff. I've seen a bunch about that. They're all fucking. I shouldn't say out loud what I think, but about them. But
They're pretty much just they're crazy kind of like
well, I
mentally.
guess I'll buy that. But I think they're just pretending. They're just
But
fucking
that's
keyboard
like
commandos.
ISIS, bro.
A
Like
lot of ISIS was literally just fucking middle class kids from England. They were like, oh shit, I can go fucking kill people in the Middle East. And so they did. And many of them were not good at it. They were super bad. They were super terrible people. That doesn't minimize that. But a lot of them were just keyboard commandos from fucking London.
yeah, they did a lot of recruiting for that. But like I watched a documentary recently of like the guy was in Afghanistan and stuff, and he was in like ISIS market and stuff, and the kids were literally telling him to like they want to cut his head off. It was pretty intense.
Yeah, Afghanistan's a different place too. Welcome, Jeff.
Fuck me, that was fast.
Jeff is saving the show, it looks like. What's going on, buddy?
Alex Pereira.
Let's get ready to get ready.
All right, make some co-hosts here so I can go.
The pictures suck.
What's going on, Jeff?
Damn it.
Hey,
I wish we
just finished doing all the work, and yeah, now I'm kicking back. So yeah, I missed some of the show, but
All right, right on. Welcome.
glad you're on.
Oh, I was thinking about you the other day. I think, what do we have the show on? What, Wednesday, I want to say. I think that's what it was because this, not State of the Union, whatever, the presidential speech was on Tuesday, and we were talking about it Wednesday afternoon for high noon, I think mostly. And you were mentioning about like the silly stuff he brought up. Well, literally, like later that day and the next day, people were debunking like one story after another, and I was like, see what I mean? Like that dude breathes, he lies like he breathes. So when he says something, you should always be skeptical of everything he says. Oh, anyway.
Yeah, he can definitely change what he says.
The
Also,
transgender mice was transgenic mice. So that was just
transgenic.
chef's
Yeah.
kiss. You know, you have to be so fucking,
Well, yeah, I
you don't
guess
have to
it's
necessarily know what transgenic mice is. You could look that up, right? But you have to be a dum-dum to hear those two
yeah.
words. But oh yeah, it's the same thing, bro. For example,
That
we eat
almost sounds
transgenic
scary though. What the
corn.
hell are they doing? Trying to
Transgenic
make
corn is not
is
transgender
that
corn.
those woolly
That's trans-
mice? I wonder if that's those woolly mice.
I think that's one of them, but basically it's
Woolly
gene specifically
boy.
gene modified for like medical testing, I want to say it was. What are
Oh,
transgenic mice? I can just look that up.
yeah. Uh, but I don't know if that was US USAID though. And the FEMA money. It's probably better to not send it to the Roosevelt. I think it was $159 a room. They for like renting out the entire hotel is like $159 a room every day. It's not
For
that
what?
great
I
a
don't know.
rate.
What
For
were you
the
specific?
Roosevelt Hotel.
Oh, I don't remember hearing about that. I
Okay.
guess I don't know
Well, there's
what you mean.
some. There's some bullshit and some.
I don't know. I don't trust Musk for any of this stuff though. Like I have to be honest, these are the least trustworthy people you could possibly find. Like we have actually several bureaus that are responsible for actually finding waste and abuse of any kind in the federal government, and these guys suddenly know everything above them. Meanwhile, Musk
You see,
obliterated Twitter by doing what he's doing. Like he famously fucked it all up. Like in public, he like this is a story that everybody saw. I'm actually blown away that nobody talks about it now. He actually obliterated a perfectly working. Twitter was known to be bloated. It was known to be bloated, but he came in and chopped out entire departments. Shit stopped working entirely, and he's only barely gotten the thing back working, and it's worth a fucking fraction of what he paid for it in the meantime.
all right, guys, I gotta get out of
Are you taking it off,
here.
Smash? Good for
Yeah,
you, bud.
yeah. Main card's going on.
Oh, right on. Hopefully your guy
All
wins or
Um,
right, yeah,
whatever.
hopefully they're good.
this shit's gonna be crazy. Hope everyone has a good night.
Cheers.
There's Flash.
I don't know who's fighting,
Uh,
but
oh, by the way,
whoever
let
it
me
is,
finish this before I forget. So,
whoever's on the
transgenic
card.
mice are mice that have had their genomes altered through genetic engineering techniques, often to include genes from other species. They're commonly used in research to study human diseases and gene functions due to their genetic similarities to humans.
Yeah, yeah. So I heard that's what they do with those woolly mice. Took some genes from woolly mammals.
Hmm.
Boole, boole.
And then,
Fuck now, I forget what I was talking about just
What
before
the
that.
what is that?
Whatever.
uh,
Yeah, I would never, at this point, I would never give Trump or Muskie the benefit of the doubt.
yeah, next
If
week's
they're
gonna be
ever
pretty
right, it's going to be
turbulent.
because
So
it's a fucking broken clock. I have to be frank, dude. The shit he says about Russia now, like he's saying that they have better relations with Russia than they do Ukraine now. Like, bro, what?
the satellite thing's a little fucked.
Yeah, he's
Not giving
literally just giving
satellite
himself a satellite
information. So
contract for several billion dollars. Now,
no,
this
no,
is open corruption. Pardon?
well, oh, the
Oh,
airline
you have
thing,
to know,
the
Jeff.
telephone thing,
If
or
you
something
if
with
you
that.
believe anything that monkey motherfucker says, there's a spectacular speech from
Well, stuff
Senator
on
Chris
Doge,
Murphy, I want to
thought
say. I
Doge
want to say
fucking
he's from
sucked.
Connecticut. It was about a half hour, and it was fucking eye-opening. A friend of mine sent it to me, and I was like, "Oh, I don't want to watch this because like I already know all the fucking crappy shit, or at least a lot of it, right?" So I was like, dude, I don't need to listen to fucking somebody just talk about how awful everything is for a half hour. And she's like, no, 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 just listen. It's a really good speech. So I listened to it, and the dude laid out this naked fucking corruption in maybe 8 or 9 different ways that these cocksuckers are doing right now. It's been 2 months, and they're already giving themselves and their friends everything, open naked bribery, you name it. And so then they mention a couple of $1 billion that they pretend save on the fucking State of the Union. The next day, by the way, the numbers have to be revised, so it's no longer 40 billion, but actually 40 million, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This came out all in fucking, I mean, a bunch of different papers. Honestly, it's shocking that these people get at the benefit of the doubt, but they know that actually that the most people, the first thing they hear is the thing they remember. And so, for example, they hear Trump or Musk or whoever, oh, we saved $50 billion. The next day, it turns out that's not true. But people don't hear that. They don't hear the correction. It's one of the reasons why corrections in newspapers are almost pointless because nobody ever reads the corrections. They only read the story. Love for the Plant says, I gave Elon a chance, but have caught him in too many lies at this point. It's exhausting having to go down fact-checking rabbit holes because he can't vet his own stuff. Yeah, I heard the best example for this. People said, oh, I listened to Elon talk about space, but I don't know anything about space, so it sounded very smart. I listened to Elon talk about electric cars, but I don't know anything about electric cars, so I thought Elon sounded smart. And then, for example, the story goes, I heard Elon start talking about software, but I know a ton about software, and I realized he's a fucking idiot. So now I know that he's an idiot about all these things. I said that inelegantly, but people have been saying that basically on the internet lately because that's essentially what it is. We all used to think that he was this big fucking genius. He famously was the inspiration, the real life inspiration for Iron Man, right? Famously, he didn't have an actual fucking spacesuit and shit like Tony Stark, but supposedly he was the inspiration for Tony Stark, right? He was that much of a big visionary
Yeah,
genius. Turns out
He was
he
the
had a
hero
very
of
good PR
the
team.
left.
Pardon?
He was the hero for the left for a long time.
Yeah, and he
The
was always coy about that,
EV,
to be honest. He was
left
always kind of
and
coy
solar
about his
company.
particular politics, but he would always post for like Pride Day and stuff. He would always post big Pride shit on Twitter and whatever. Even I want to say just this last year, he had a big Pride put with flags and whatever on his X or whatever they call it
Yeah.
now.
I mean, he's definitely a
I
weird
hate that we have
dude.
to talk about this guy
Unique,
every single fucking day.
but
It was already bad enough, and now it's literally
he's
all
a
day,
good
every
leader
day.
of tech companies. Yeah,
Pardon?
definitely. He's a good leader of tech companies.
Oh, I
I
wouldn't
always
say that, to
hated
be
it.
honest.
Like, a professor that's has 50 students under him. They're all writing papers or something. Well, the professor puts his name on it usually
Well, I don't know. I
first,
think that's
even
but
though
when
he
you
does
dig
the
into
least
it, I don't
amount of
think that's
work. But
true. I know. I
he's
mean,
citing.
I'm mindful now
I
that
always
perhaps
felt
I'm
bad
just
about that, but
sounds like I have bad vibes against Elon or something. But no, I've read that actually SpaceX, for example, one of the few companies that seems to actually be working well, actually, even though they have occasional disasters, they seem to be ahead of most everybody else. Evidently, they have not one but two teams that are singularly responsible for keeping Elon away from anything that they're doing.
yeah,
That sounds like dealing with a fucking idiot.
I
Honestly,
don't
that
know.
sounds
It
like
may
that's
not be
a
true though
malicious
either.
moron
I
idiot.
think
And you hear
he
about
gets
with Tesla,
involved.
when he comes in, it's like a chicken coming in and shitting on things, and then he leaves. That's,
I
by the
think
way,
he
a
makes
style of
some
management. The
choices.
chick, what do they call it? I don't remember what it's called right now.
I think he makes some
They
choices.
call it something else, but it's essentially the chicken flies in, shits on
I
everything, and then
I
leaves.
also think he makes some choices because he's looking at a bigger picture than say one company. Like with the robots, he talked about, or no, it was with Tesla. He talked about he didn't want to use lidar. He just wants to use visual
And
cameras
it
because
looks like
that's
he's
what
way,
people
way, way
use.
behind on the
But
self-driving. Yeah, no,
but I'm
Waymo
thinking
is full
he
self-driving.
wanted that because he wanted the AI to be developed using just cameras because that's he wanted it to be applied to eventually be used with his robots, which are just going to have cameras like eyes. They're not going to have lidar.
But there's no
So he
reason why
wanted
our
to
cameras
develop.
can't have
So
LiDAR. My fucking phone has
he probably
LiDAR.
decided that.
It's no, it's a cost issue. It's literally he's saving money because we literally have LiDAR in our fucking phones. How expensive are the sensors if you can have it in a fucking phone? If you put in a $50,000 robot, you can have LiDAR in your
You
$50,000
can,
robot.
but I think his concept there with the robot is he wants to mimic humans as much as possible too. Um, just because then the robot could be a total stand-in for a human like job or function or fit into a human car that a human could fit into or something that you know allows vision so on a head so that's what he's going to do. I think that's what that at some point robot design decided to follow humans so that they could just fit into a
I mean,
human
we live in a
world.
human-oriented world. All
Yeah,
the door handles are human height and stuff like that, so it makes sense in that respect.
yeah.
Um,
The
I don't
Chinese
know.
seem to
I
have
mean,
robots,
I always
incredible
reserve the right to
robots.
be wrong, but first of all, I think it's horrific that we have an oligarch that's that powerful. So even if he was a good guy, I would be pretty jaundiced or pretty jaded against him. But nothing that he's done has really convinced me that he's actually kind of on the right side of history, especially his complete rightward turn. Since when in history have the fucking crazy lunatic right ever been on the right side of history? I mean, for real though. Like in the great history, fucking the Nazis, the what do they call them? The guys in Chile, the Pinochet. I can't remember the name of them. The Franco in Madrid in Spain. None of those guys were on the right side of history. Anyway. All right, so perhaps everyone is avoiding me. Maybe I'm going to go have dinner. Ladies and gerbils, I'm going to hand it off to Dee and Jeff here. D, if you get knocked off or something, just text me and hopefully I can give you permissions again or something. I think last time Hardcore got knocked off or whatever, and then when he tried to come on, there was no one to let him back on. So if you guys get knocked off, try to text me. And yeah, I really would like to avoid bunches of dead air and stuff. So, folks, if the conversation is super, super slow, maybe think about wrapping it up. But
Okay.
certainly, if there are folks on here, you guys are welcome to hang. Folks, I might be back and off to you guys.
Okay. Later.
Later. Cheers,
Uh,
everybody. Hope everyone's having a great night. Territory to Vientiane on. That's 21 in French. Well, trying to say 21 people watching or lurking. What's everybody smoking on? I am smoking on. Mm, oh, this is this one. The mints, Oreo mints. I'm gonna be smoking some space fronts soon enough. What are you smoking on, Jeff?
This is it's probably still my standard of PA. What is that again? Platinum asset, and uh, and then
Nice.
I've got that Mendo Breath Banana God.
Right on.
That's killer also. Yeah, I'm glad. I put away jars, I guess, without kind of like squirreling them away, and not really trying not to really remember that about them,
Yeah.
so that and then like when you oh yeah, good, I got one more jar. It's great.
Right on.
So
I
yeah,
had some
that's
plat. I had
yeah. I'm
some
gonna be
platinum.
taking down too. What do you got?
I had some platinum OG, and it's really good. It was really good. It's flour.
Uh-huh. Good platinum. Yeah, good.
I like some of the platinum
Silver,
strains. Good.
silver. Hey, the silver stuff is good.
Super silver
Super
hay.
silver stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, I haven't had that in a minute. It's been
the
years since I've
platinum.
had some of that. When
I can
Mrs.
go.
D, me and Mrs. D used to go to this one cannabis shop that wasn't legal. It was like a gray market, and I don't know how they got away with it for a while, being opened. But yeah, Mrs. D always used to get super silver haze. She used to be
Uh-huh.
sativa all the time.
Yeah.
So she used to be on the sativa end of the counter, and I used to hang out in the indica and then the hash and all that. I got it turned.
Yeah, and Acapulco Gold. So you got silver, gold, platinum,
Mm-hmm.
about no diamond.
You saying diamonds?
No, no di well, there's diamonds, but there's no like diamond haze.
Oh, okay.
That's surprising. I guess it's probably crystals and sugar.
Melania.
That was a good bowl. Yeah, nice weather today. Heading into a week of some good weather. Yeah, looking forward to that. Some warm weather.
Oh yeah. By the way, coming soon to
And
Yankee Candle. Keep going, Jeff.
I was gonna, yeah, we changed the clocks tonight.
Oh really?
Yeah, in
I
America
wonder
anyway,
So
or
that means
most
you that
places in
means
America.
everybody an extra hour of show.
Uh,
Bring ahead.
well, yeah, or we'll be ending later than usual.
Yeah,
I think is
yeah.
if we make it till noon. I mean midnight.
So 3 o'clock is actually 2 o'clock.
Noon night.
What?
I used to call it noon night.
Oh, an hour. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, that's
But
right. Bring
makes
ahead.
sense to call it moon night though, really.
Yeah. Oh, sorry guys.
Noon and moon. Look at
Uh,
that shit.
Thank you. It's cold in here. Oops. I'm pressing all the wrong shit over here. There we go. All right. Uh-huh.
Yes,
Um,
yeah, I should pull up the YouTube. Let's see who's on. Yeah, we had a lot of people were on last night on FCP.
on what?
On a lot of people were on YouTube last night in chat. That a lot of regulars.
Oh yeah. Right on.
It's good. Well, the late night crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do a late night show on Friday.
Who's
It's a
that?
good time. Um, FCP.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah, Future Cannabis.
yeah. Um, right on. Hmm. This joint's awesome.
Good
Let me
show would
bust
just be like talking about the other cannabis shows. That'd be a good cannabis show, like
Oh,
a weekly summary of like what was talked about on
wow.
meaningful
That might
shows.
take a while though, Jeff. There's so many shows. There's so many cannabis shows on YouTube right now.
Yeah, well, yeah, just like maybe pick of a high quality and or maybe and also where they have guests that are interesting and
Yeah,
part of the crowd community, all that people we know.
no. Hmm. Oh, I gotta get this trimmed up. I got some cannabis to trim up after. Ooh, I like this stuff. Hmm. Time to roll up some for the space runs now. That's what I'm gonna be smoking next. Space runs. Yeah, man. No, not yet. What's everybody in chat smoking on? Let us know. We want to hear. What are you smoking on? Hey, Johnny Pipe. Let's see. Wow. Who was just lurking? Cheers, all you lurkers. 21 people hanging out. Right on. I'm gonna be here for a bit longer, anyways. Oh, dude. There we go. What's everybody smoking on? Yeah, man.
I don't know, my chat's not really moving. Oh, well, I'm gonna fill this up again. I'm gonna
What's that, Jeff?
go for the Mendo breath. Smoke 2 bowls.
Nice.
Or smoke 2 bowls.
Then I smoke two more. Nice. Mendo Breath's a good one. I like Mendo Breath.
Yeah, I've been really getting into a tincture at night, an um, oil tincture. Well, not really tincture. Yeah, I guess. Um,
Right on.
just infused oil, olive oil. Uh,
I know some people.
really good. Like I could really, I used to. I've always gotten sleepy off edibles and gotten, and can give you a really good night's sleep. But once, um, I've got this hip pain and it's really, it bugs me when I sleep. But when you have pain and you eat edibles and it goes away, boy, you really can appreciate what people with pain really talked about.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't really new to me, but just lately though, I it's just really appreciate it. Where it's like, yeah, pretty much if I want a good night's sleep, gotta take some oil.
Yeah, man. I know people that use tinctures to sleep, as well as chocolate. My buddy's my buddy's mama. That's very funny. My buddy's mom, actually, I get the chocolate for her, and um, she takes a piece of the chocolate, she'll break it in half, the piece in half, and then half again, and she'll eat that piece, and it helps her sleep.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I don't I don't really get a precise dose. I just gotta stick a knife in the jar and take out a little bit. Kind of, look at it. Kind of about the same. Because I don't even know what, like maybe one time I had a hangover the next day where I noticed it. But otherwise it's been really good.
And then I know a couple other people that use the tinctures oil.
I
I
made
get
it
them.
I made it with some device. My brother has some kind of heating device. It's like a pitcher. It almost looks like a pitcher, I guess, or a coffee pot kind of thing. And
Yeah,
load it up, and it's got some settings.
I know one.
And yeah, it worked all right.
I
Go
know
ahead.
for sure. I know one thing. If I didn't have cannabis, I'd be in more pain all the time. That's for sure.
Uh-huh.
Really helps with my pain, especially in winter. Oh,
Yeah, the edible is really good. It
whoops.
also it also seems to like draw you out, so you don't like you just getting up, go to the bathroom a lot. Nah, it really helps. So I don't know why. Maybe it's like something to do with a cotton mouth also. I was wondering, like, it must somehow metabolizing it must consume some water.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't do edibles or tinctures. Oh yeah, and by the
Yeah.
way, God, I
Well,
did
what do you
when I,
think you get a cotton mouth? What do you think that's about? I don't really get a cotton mouth so much anymore, to tell you the truth, but I
yeah,
used to.
yeah,
Actually, now I'm thinking, I'm wondering if Cottonmouth was just because you're hanging out smoking joints and talking all the time. And yeah, you're talking and you're just drying
maybe.
out your mouth and talking all the time. And stop and take a drink.
Yeah, I was gonna. Whoops, shit.
No,
So
I think it probably does something. It's probably something to that. Like I said, probably uses up water. Hydrolysis, maybe. After oxidation, hydrolysis is probably the most
I guess what it's soft for it.
prevalent like degradation process where
Yeah,
like the water breaks down into like H and OH, and positive, and then it'll break down some other molecule that's has some ionic bond and usually maybe with a catalyst.
where's the? Oh, it's down
That's why you need some moisture in there also with curing. So you can have the
this.
processes happen, and if there's any hydrolysis or just and then the other reasons, so you want water to something can things could flow, chemical reactions can happen in a solution better, things can flow, and you just have this ionic soup.
Placed another order, and they gave me
These
freaking.
radicals.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. What order of what?
I placed an order for more cannabis this afternoon, and they gave me a pack more of edibles. Like I got all these edibles here. It's crazy. I could have an edible party.
Nice.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I don't even eat edibles.
Seems like gummies are they're not. they're not real popular anymore like they used to be. They were all the rage, but yeah, that fad's kind of come and gone.
These are the ones, and these aren't like, I'm not trying to like promote them or nothing. They're not like cheap. What happened?
A friend was talking about just coming out to Colorado recently to get
There you
chocolates,
go.
mushroom chocolates.
That's good to know. There you go, Jeff. You still can with it. Well, it's your season.
Cultivation, mucous membrane, and production.
I'll still have staff.
Okay, so it's not really talking about drying out, just like specific to your mouth. Which yeah, I'm just like stretching it, but there's a connection there. No, I think like I said, it probably it's I feel the effect, so I'm wondering. It's just anecdotal that you
Yeah.
use water to process
You guys,
some
they're not like the
cannabis.
cheap, crappy ones. Those stick gummies. They're like the good candy ones too.
Nice packaging.
Yeah. And they're like
That's
they're
what
the
they go
actual
for,
like.
man. They know they're just salesmen, man.
I also
Marketing
got some
people.
like I got a whole drawer full of gummies, edibles upstairs. It's crazy.
Yeah, but we'll see if chocolate mushrooms, mushroom chocolates, whatever,
I've gotten
come to a
them for
fad.
somebody too.
I'm like doing three things at once.
I've gotten those for somebody too. Those are crazy. I got like different types of chocolates. Welcome back, softcore. Is that Lappy Tappy or it's Warheads? Dude, they got Warhead drinks now. Have you guys seen those at all?
No,
Yeah, it's crazy.
what? It sounded like you said warhead.
Yeah. Hey, Hardcore, can you show that packaging again? So there's a product called Warheads, and you used to pop them in your mouth, and they used to be sour and everything. But you can get these drinks
Huh.
in a
They also had
can
the
now.
cinnamon one too, the hot one,
Oh,
and
those used to be my
lemon heads
favorite.
or lemon some shit.
Yeah, man. Cinnamon them in.
I remember the hot tamales growing up.
I got a bag full of Hot Lips over here.
Those candies, those cinnamon candies.
Yeah, the Hot Lips.
So, well, hot tamales. There were these even smaller ones, little round ones that were even more cinnamony. The ginger ones are can be sharp too. But
Mm.
ginger candy can be ginger honey. I've had that. It's really they're good. They're sharp though.
Make sure you don't eat too many, you might get gingivitis. Wah, wah.
Or diabetes.
Diabetes,
Diabetes.
yeah. Has anyone ever heard of whorehound? Or was that before your guys' time?
Yeah,
I guess
must
before
be.
your time. Whorehound's the spice, and they used to get candy. It used to be like peppermint or licorice and stuff like that. It's like licoricey kind of. Anyways, whorehound candy. They used to make rock candy out of it. Oh,
And
right
the
on.
smoke signal. Ooh, yeah.
Giggity, giggity.
Yeah, I saw you last night, Hardcore. The whole
Where's
late
that?
night crew on YouTube and chat.
He was looking through your window.
In chat, you said, or on?
Yeah,
Was I
last
on?
night I liked. Yeah, the whole late night crew was there last night. So like Friday night. It was a good. It's a good time to have a show on FCP
Wasn't that
talking about and that dude Buddha.
Shaft. Talking to Shaft.
I first saw him like a couple of years back, a few years back, maybe even on like JJ's Kitchen, I think it was.
Such a man.
Yeah, talking about lights and heat, shit, temperature. Yeah, the radiant energy matters a lot because it's a function of temperature to the fourth power. Change in temperature matters a lot between LEDs and HPS. How much energy is really wasted, but sent to the leaves too on leaf surface temperature to increase the leaf surface temperature. Temperature in that from absolute zero. So you double it, you get 16 times more energy sent by heat. You double the temperature of the bulb.
Sweet.
Everything else the same.
Right on. All dirty vibes. Right on. Let's roll up some nighttime.
I just changed my. So I've got this weird. I'm trying out like weird procedures now where, I'm perpetual and I'm just bringing plants in when they're ready and taking them out when they're ready. So and I've got basically got two big lights going, and they've got white. They're two channels each one. They've got white and one's got red and one's got blue. And so I've got like a blue area of the room and a red area of the room. And like so, I'll bring them in. When they first get in, I'll try to use the blue, at the beginning and end of flower. Seems to be good, and from what I've heard, it seems like that's the way to go. And then like the red and somewhere in the middle, and then I'll turn down the red, um,
Sauce.
like midway through flower. And then I also use the red light by itself to wake them up and put them to sleep. So, and that's kind of weird when your roof's just got red light in it. It's really weird look to it. But so yeah,
It's
I
a
wake
red
them up.
light special.
Yep, exactly.
Just having a red light special. Huh. Red
So
light.
yeah, I just moved it, but things are working out pretty good like that.
Right on.
I don't know. Got it all in a nice controller, GML controller.
Right on.
It's pretty decent. It's okay. It tries to do everything,
Uh-huh.
but and so you probably can, get 90% of it. You're not going to get it all probably. There's like built-in spectrums and like wake up function and
Mm.
dim like dimming down at night. I think to go to sleep or something. But mine doesn't do that, so I have to program it like. But you can schedule things like I don't know as many as you want. Like okay, these are the percentages. You can control four channels. So which is what I have, the two lights, two channels each.
Right
Basically four
on.
channels. That's basically or four different lights. Um, and you string the lights together, so you can do way more than four lights, but basically four different schedules, and then like so I wake up with this gradual increase, and I put him to sleep with a decrease that's gradual, and then in the middle of the day, I ramp everything up to 100% for about a half hour or so, maybe 20 minutes. I don't know,
Mhm.
just to give him a good push, make him really run hard. And yeah, you can do that. You can do that kind of stuff. You can put as many like at this time. These are the percentages for the port channels. At this time, these are the port channels for percentages. And it's got like a temperature and humidity probe. It's got
Hey, honey, I'll
temperature.
put your
You, you,
pro
you, you could do stuff if the temperature gets too hot too. It'll like go into like dim all the lights mode. And
Pokemon.
it's got like a Bluetooth. You can use a phone connection with a Bluetooth or something. I think it uses a generalized software package for controllers. But like, all that didn't work. So the way I wanted it to. But like I said, it's pretty good. It tries to do a shitload. And pretty good. You can do a lot of stuff with it. It's got cool controls. It's kind of fun. Kind of reminds me of the original or the old iPad. Oh no, yeah, iPad.
Cool.
iPad Touch. Was that it? What was the iPhone? The Apple Music player.
Um.
Was it the I? Was it,
Oh shit.
was it iPad? iTunes? No,
iTunes.
iPod.
no. It was the iPod. iPod. I said iPad. Yeah, iPod. Yeah, yeah. I had the iPod Touch. iPad. Yeah, it was the iPod Touch. Yeah, the iPod. But the iPod had that little wheel thing, the virtual wheel. Maybe
Mama.
I
it
had a
was,
Sony
and
MP4 player that was, or MP3 player that was, had blue LED lights on the front, and it was kind of like it was like six lights that were all on top, like in a vertical line, and it was like the Wheel of Fortune wheel that you would spin. It was like haptic feedback and shit.
yeah, they had some different things going on then. Different kind of players. I had some kind of MP3 player. I had actually one that like popped into this side port on this laptop that I had that weighed like 15 pounds. It was it was pretty crazy. Uh, but it had like built-in MP3 player that could like you could load it and then pop it out and it'd be like a portable MP3 player. But the iPod with that wheel control, so that's what GML's controller had, some of those fun little virtual rotary dial thing, controllers. And I'll probably have a really nice plaid. It's like so crusty. Platinum asset. It's really nice. I'll probably pick that in a day or two, three. Get that in the tent. Try that a bit. Eventually get it maybe in the humidor, which is working out pretty nice. Yeah, I like the humidor.
Hmm. Oh, there it is. Shit.
Just keep my jars in there.
Giggity.
But yeah, especially in the summer, that'll be good. Keep it nice cool temperature. I was in Minnesota. Hardcore. Probably staying off
Supposed to
the
be like
ice these days, aren't you?
65 this week, a
Yeah,
couple days.
nice.
Yeah,
Then it's supposed to get back down like 20 next week, something. But
Oh, damn.
it's freezing here right now. I know that.
Yeah, we're starting to get warm. I'm being hopeful, I
there's
guess.
still snow piles like in the shadows and shit.
Hey,
Seeing like Easter things all over the place. The bulb, yeah, the bulbs outside are all popping up. Green.
20 here. 20 Fahrenheit.
Captain heading to Thailand. Is he doing that soon?
Like
Been
next
talking a lot
month
about
or something.
transition.
What's all this shit?
Gosh, he's not on.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, chat last night too.
Big
What is
force
it, two
Chris
people in chat now or what? Can't see it anymore.
What? Oh, chat. Uh, Christopher's there. Hey,
Big force.
Christopher. Yeah, big force. Amazing we're not. Zoom was the big. It's amazing how quickly we get used to technology. Like even ChatGPT is almost like, yeah, well, yeah, I mean, barely use it anymore. You know, I mean, I do, but it's like it's really it's so amazing. Actually, you know, you can have a conversation with this thing about like any kind of subject you wanted. You know, in the past, you'd like have to like I don't know, look in an encyclopedia, find
It still
anything.
does fucking.
But you know, Zoom like
We
kind
see
of
it.
new.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Now, people have been talking about Grok lately. I might give that a try.
Awfully.
Have you tried that? It's, I believe it's free. And I haven't tried DeepSeek either. Trying to actually not use my device so much. Kind of crazy. I mean, on it right now, probably on it like 10 hours a day, maybe. Who knows? Had an eye exam, like one of the questions in the forms you fill out, like, oh, how much time do you spend looking at a screen or looking at a device?
Looking weird if I
You
like
know,
cover up.
I,
I see, because that's making it bright.
your phone might be adjusting the you know, like the brightness.
Tripping me out.
Something like that. Could turn your phone sideways.
What do you
Better viewing experience. But Zoom's not that old. And it's just made like here, you know, Christopher's on. I mean, people from all around the world, just like living in the Jetsons age, you know, and like, oh, not a big deal. We'll probably have robots and be a big deal for like 2 months, maybe 6 months.
And then they'll take over and then we'll all die.
Then we'll be used to it. So like even like Amazon delivery was kind of like I don't know, this is too weird. What, buy everything through the mail? Now it's like pretty much second nature. Just like set it up for regular deliveries.
Hmm.
In the middle of nowhere, they'll be delivering it to you by drone. Out
Yeah.
there with like Starlink.
Middle of the desert or something.
It'd be like the futuristic hermit.
Hmm.
I hate society. But you get like drone deliveries
I
from
haven't seen that trailer.
Amazon and connecting with satellite, all these things that like people needed for people had to build.
Oh.
Yeah, I was talking before about the satellite and with Ukraine that we're not giving them targeting information, some another intelligence. That seems kind of basically free.
Hmm.
Free pack of blueberry
But
muffin
that's a
feed.
little
Next
weird.
person to hop on.
All right, I'm gonna get off and hop on again.
All right, Jeff.
Get some blueberry muffin.
Oh. Uh,
Come on. I love that shit. Looking delicious.
So also with Starlink, they use that a lot in Ukraine. So at least that's still going. So like that's real helpful. And they use that for communicating and also controlling things. You can't jam it very easily. So it's to jam the Starlink, you kind of like have to know where the antenna is, and it's like a really narrow beam pointing up, and so like kind of have to come in at the you kind of have to know where it is,
So she
where the
said,
antenna is. It's actually really useful and more. They you can put it on and they've done it. They put it on drones to control the drones, and then it's not as jammable from what I've heard.
got cut really hard, really quick.
You growing anything nowadays, hardcore?
I got a bunch of Cheryl stuff I want to pop here pretty soon.
Somewhat.
That feral hemp stuff I've
Oh,
been fucking with.
feral. Okay, yeah, feral hemp. Huh. What do you do with that when you grow it? After you grow it?
Just see what works the best in this environment.
Uh-huh.
What's gonna smell the best, what looks the best, grows the best. But it should be fucking interesting looking at it.
Do you smoke it?
Well, yeah, to determine what, because like a quarter room will be high THC,
Uh-huh. And it
quarter room will be
flavorful? Nice.
quarter room will be just like hemp or whatever, and then a quarter room or half of them will be like mixed, like 1 to 1 or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And then each generation you can zone
So
in
it's
on what you
not
like.
really just feral hemp, it's really like feral hemp cannabis mixed, it sounds
Well,
like.
hemp and cannabis is hemp, marijuana, and hemp is the same plant. It's just
Yeah,
stuff that doesn't have that much THC in it, if any.
yeah. No, I didn't realize the wild stuff had much THC or just or randomly could. Sounds
They
like.
could, yeah. I mean, yeah, but and it's just
I always heard it was ditchweed and
but the plants have been growing in this environment for 80 years, so
but yeah,
that's
start
why.
selecting, and nice
And there's
buds
like
and
terpenes and
flavor.
shit that aren't, yeah, flavor shit that's not. It's all sorts of different plant shit that's not. I like the way it grew too. I mean, there was some cool. A lot of it got nice and purpley.
Cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Native American cannabis.
Well, no, it's
That's
actually from. I think it's from China, but it was from during World War II,
well, yeah,
or it could be prior to that because they grew hemp here like 1800s and shit.
yeah. I guess not native, okay, but American.
it is endemic or whatever. It's like landrace down pretty damn near. I mean, 80 years isn't millions, but I mean it's enough to have specific little inbred lines everywhere that are kind of each their own.
Something
I
unique.
think. Yeah,
Maybe
because during World War
maybe
II,
there was something here before that that it mixed with.
well, there was prior to like they've grown hemp here on a large scale farming like since like so at least in the late 1800s.
Yeah, or even yeah. I mean, really, that since
But then in
Europeans
1937
came.
they outlawed it and marijuana and hemp. And then but in World War II in the like 45 or 40 whatever they had embargoes or whatever on all the tariffs or whatever the fuck it is on all the hemp from China or Japan or wherever the hell we were getting our hemp from. So
Huh. I
Minnesota,
kind
like
of
the
remember
government
something
came
like
in
that.
Minnesota. They made 11 hemp mills in Minnesota alone, and they gave a whole bunch of farmers hemp seed, and they grew hemp for all their ropes and canvases and fucking a bunch of shit. But then a lot of that stuff is still, it's been bouncing around in the ditches and in the prairies and whatnot for 80 some years. At least some of it could be, 100 years, but probably just the 80 year stuff. They tried to eradicate it after that, but I mean, it's hard to, especially when you got thousands of acres of shit planted.
Yeah.
Ah, shit, I can't fuck that stuff. He's the wrong cock for the job. Eee. What happened to D? Did he disappear?
Change that.
I'm still here.
Disappear?
Oh yeah. Well done.
Always looking for one. Yeah.
That's the same wheel you've been working on for a while, isn't it?
Not really yet. Maybe a couple weeks,
Couple of weeks. Okay, yeah.
few weeks, maybe.
I mean, with the sturdy face in the middle. But yeah, you just kind of after a while, you just go over it and start do something different, huh? They're gonna do like X-ray of these in the future and find these layers, all this layering that you've done.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do quite with this one yet. It's not still in progress or whatever.
Yeah, actually, I was thinking today a little. I was like, I don't know what hardcore it is because I was doing some grouting, just some repair, and I haven't done it in a while.
Yeah, no, I've been
It was
looking.
like,
I've been being a bum for winter. Now I'm gonna actually go back to work again here next week. Or this week now.
oh yeah, and
So
that on something you were working on before,
what is for the for the
that barn
contract
or
for?
because you showed some of the stuff you were doing.
I'm sure I'll put back together the garage that I never finished for him. I'm sure there'll be some remodels and all that shit.
Good to stay busy.
Yeah, I'm lazy.
I had my shower redone recently too by a really good
Kyle?
tradesman guy. No, no, it was the floor, the shower pan basically was delaminating and it was unusable. So the floor was terrible, but the tile was really nice. It is, it's really nice, and the and everything else is really nice in there. But and I had people that gave me estimates for like yeah redoing the whole shower. And at first like I was looking into somebody to just like you can resurface a shower floor with like an epoxy resurfacing. Uh, I mean, but it's still kind of no. I couldn't find anyone that with any experience with it
They want
could
what?
say they could do it.
$3,000 to do your tile and then $7,000 to do everything?
It was something like seven. I think it was seven, but I had to buy the tile. Was one of the estimates for redoing the whole shower. Like not any of the plumbing. Plumbing was still good, but like just yeah, redo everything else, and probably not the door either. Um, but I finally found somebody that he was like oh yeah like and has done this before because it was oh yeah well can cut like the bottom row of tile and then put in a new pan and then put in just one row of tile at the bottom but do the whole pan then. I was like yeah do it I was like yeah it wound up being like it was under 3,000 or yeah it was like I think it was even total in the finally even under 3,000 but after he took the shower pan out the the flooring was a bit rotten so he had to redo that so yeah it went up like $500. There was some black mold there, like 50 years old. And he put in a new shower pan and one row of tile that kind of like matched the shower pan, just like white, and matched all the white stuff in the bathroom. It came out really good. And he had to take the glass door off, the sliding door. And so I bought a new door also since he was putting it on. I was like, yeah, basically he'll be putting that on for free because he otherwise he would put the old one back on. And it was kind of rusted a little bit, and just built up calcium and old. It was the time to just, it was the time to do it if I was going to do it. Yeah, it came out really good. It was, we probably didn't use that shower for like I don't even want to say how long, at least 2 years.
In 2 years, have you taken a shower?
We had another shower, but that was
Wow.
like the main one. That, yeah. Uh, Kept looking. I was like, oh, the tile was great on. That's what was so bad about people. Two estimates that for people to redo the whole shower was like, oh, the tile is so nice though. It was like when we bought the house, they maybe they redid the tile. They didn't redo the pan though, and it needed it then. So like it was like the tile and plumbing was new, but not the pan, and the door wasn't new. It's really good. You bought like a prefab shower pan.
You're getting old enough, you got to get one of those crawl-in showers with a door.
The door?
Yeah,
Oh, you mean like the jacuzzi ones, the world hot tub kind
yeah.
of little person? Yeah, I thought about that a little bit. Till somebody was saying, the thing about those is, yeah, you have to go in it, close the door, and then start the water up, right? So you have to be in there while the water's filling up, and then when you're done, you have to let the water out, and the water has to be all out before you can leave. I was
Yeah,
like, yeah,
exactly.
that kind of sucks.
And it's all fun and games until that something starts leaking at the side of the door.
Yep, yep.
And
Then
in
what?
the greenhouse that I was growing in the other few years ago, I used to have a 12-foot stock tank in there. That was like a big stainless steel stock tank, and I used to keep it full of water, and then I would take a it was an electric element for like a water heater. It was probably like, I don't know, 16 inches long or something like that. And I would fucking dangle that on, and there was like a bar that went across the middle of the stock tank, and I would just dangle that heating element in there, and
Yeah.
like during the day it would fucking make it, it'd make it nice and humid in there all day, and keep the humidity up. But then but at the end of each day, that thing would be fucking so damn hot that I had to like add extra water. Like I would have it like 2/3 full probably, and I had to damn near fill it to the top with this cold water just so I could get my foot in there because it was so fucking hot. At the end of each day, that was fucking nice.
Yeah, you know.
Fucking redneck hot tub.
Yeah, really. They sell things on
I've
YouTube,
I've
like,
I've, I've
hooked
made
into
one out
them,
of a
but
Rubbermaid fucking like a big. It was a Rubbermaid stock tank. Like it was like, I don't know, 200 gallon. Like really that black fucking hard plastic shit.
things they're real dangerous. So like you really can't buy one legitimately that you can just like plug in and put it in the tub while you're in there.
I've shocked myself a couple times. Not like really. It's just like a mild zing.
Oh my.
Like not like the 220 or anything, but
Like that'd be one of the good things about a jacuzzi bathtub, like a real
no,
built-in
I
jacuzzi.
usually would have the element off when I was in there. Like I mean, it stays so
Uh-huh.
fucking hot.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Something like that, or somehow you could design some real hillbilly thing
Or you could have some
where
shit with like
like
just
a
a wood
bucket.
fire, a wood
Yeah, you
stove,
could
and a
do that.
fucking
Yeah,
a pipe that circulates water through there and shit.
something like that, or have a bucket with the electric heater in it, and
Or if you just have like
can't
that
have any
steel pipe,
water
you can have
connection. It has to like just
a flame outside
fall
of the
in one.
building or some shit.
It's
But
still dangerous, but yeah. Oh, and a flame outside. Yeah,
no, I would take it, and I would take a bunch of this. I got all sorts of this plastic. Um, what do you call it? Fucking plastic culture or whatever. Fucking plastic
No.
mulch or whatever. Like they use it like for like rose beds and shit, or for raised bed
Uh-huh.
planting.
Okay.
But I would take that and I would like pour a whole bunch of layers of it across the top of the fucking tank and overnight.
Oh, to keep it insulated.
Yeah, and I had like a bunch of those fucking foam fingers, like the foam mattresses for like from the hospital and shit kind of.
Uh-huh.
I had one of them on there. I want to say I
So
used bubble wrap too a bunch of times, but it was kind of sloppy if I do all those things. But fucking thing would be toasty.
yeah, if there's any sun, have them be black.
Yeah, like you can. I've heard that you basically have like black piping on your roof and shit, and just the sun on that will make it fucking even in the winter it'll get hot or
Well,
it'll get
like you
frozen.
said, it's all fun and games. So I guess if it's metal piping, that's pretty safe.
And I've been shocked by the fucking 220 though. That shit, that you'll feel that.
The jacuzzi tub would be good, not so much even like just as a jacuzzi, but just because, I mean, I'm assuming you could just put that on heat mode, which just like gently circulates or, circulates water. It's not real jacuzzi, but it keeps it warm. So, because that's the thing about a regular bath, it sort of gets cold,
Yeah, no shit.
especially nowadays. Yeah, I don't know. Did we talk about this with like they used to have TVs in the wall, and like nowadays everybody you just bring your iPad into the bathtub with you or wherever. Pool, phone. We was talking about waterproofing. It used to be a service where you pay extra, like $100 or something, to waterproof your iPhones when they first came out.
They used to have OtterBox. I haven't had a case in my phone forever because I just get cheap ones.
You used to have a half case, but I buy
Otter,
cheap phones too. I always
they,
buy an older phone.
OtterBox shit.
Definitely not trying to stay up with the latest. Plus, I try not to upgrade at all. Truth. Nothing wrong with it. It's like a pain in the ass to go through it and change things. Plus, I mostly use my iPad. I have an iPhone, I have my iPad. I've got a Windows computer. Yeah, I don't really use the computer that much at all, but for certain things. And that might have been the least expensive device. I don't know what the phone. No, I guess the phone was maybe a little same, a little less. It's amazing how inexpensive computers are. A laptop. If you game and are doing some serious work, yeah, desktop's
I paid
good.
like 3 grand
I
for a
don't know.
laptop once.
You what? Did what?
I paid 2,800 bucks for a laptop back in like 2001.
Yeah, right, right. That first one, I was on that 15 pound one was like,
That was when I
yeah,
bought
that
that
might have
one.
been
Was when I was going to
2000.
school though for it.
Uh,
Had Windows
yeah,
2000 Professional on it.
yeah, back in the day, playing workstations, stations, or yeah, Windows.
Cheers, Agnes.
Okay.
Yeah, that laptop. Yeah, I just wrote it had a TV tuner built into it
I
also,
gotta
so you
get
could plug
going.
you could plug it you could plug a TV signal cable into it, and it had a remote also. And for that time, it had a big screen. I forget what it was, maybe like 15 inches or something, 17, something like that, maybe. Yeah, watching TV. I had a CD
Yeah.
player and DVD player. You there? Am I muted?
On you.
Let's break it up.
Just like rings. I'm a
You sound broken up too hardcore. How do I sound?
little bit gay.
What?
Oh man.
I don't know. It's a little choppy. I'm not sure how we are. Check the YouTubes. Might be it.
Go. Where did they go? Bingo. My kid's fucking glasses. That's what that's telling me. You fucked my bingo. I didn't fuck no dog. Was Bingo the dog or the farmer?
Anyway, uh, well,
Well, I think I'm about petered out for the night.
I think it's
Yeah,
Vegas time.
yeah. Let's call it.
Yeah. Who wants to go first?
Later.
Adios.
Oh, yeah, record. Jeff, go for it. Oh, thanks everybody. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I guess we're just gonna cut it right here. Hope everyone has a great rest of the weekend. Um, don't forget to tune in Tuesday, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 7 o'clock Pacific, for the Tuesday show and Streaming on Flavors, and my pre-show on my channel, dzombie underscore 745 on my channel. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. Keep your stick on the ice. We'll see you guys on Tuesday. And yeah, peace out. You're muted. We can't hear you, Fumi.
Well, that was weird. For some reason, my recorder shut off or Zoom reset or something. Pardon me for now burping in your ear. So hopefully you guys could hear that. Thanks, Polly, for telling me. Otherwise, I would have just been talking for absolutely no reason. Just those of you who can lip read would be like, "Oh yeah, this is the shenanigans with the shenanigans of the fucking." Anyway, ladies and gerbils, what was I talking about? God help me, I don't even remember. Um, Oh, I was basically giving you a bunch of empty promises, so I guess I don't have to repeat them. I was saying that I hope to have my website back this week. Long story short, I did explain basically why I was kind of behind the eight ball on that, and I was giving a crazy metaphor about how far behind the eight ball I was. Just imagine it was super funny, and then that would be helpful because it probably wasn't very funny. But in the meantime, I was saying that I hope to have the website finally back in the very near future, hopefully this week, and then also. Well, hope to do a bunch of stuff, honestly, starting soon. Hope to finally get some new guests. Probably not this week because I just honestly don't have time for that, but maybe next week we'll see. And what was I saying? Oh, I was talking about how I hope to start doing some different shows as well, perhaps some morning shows and stuff, coffee and cannabis, stuff like that. So we'll see. I can't promise it this week because I've just been trying to get a bunch of different stuff done. So, but in the meantime, stay tuned. I guess that's the idea. Stay tuned for that kind of stuff. So, folks, for anyone else that's listening, hardcore couch flyer, good to see you, buddy. Bonjour, Christophe. Christophe is lucky to be in the daytime now, so that's cool. Oh, by the way, folks, don't forget daylight savings time tonight. Agnes Beckett, good to see you, buddy. Who else in here? Who is Agnes Beckett complimenting? He's complimenting everybody, I think. Nice IG weed. Dr. DGC Jeff, if you're still hanging, hardcore, of course, too. J5, good to see you, buddy. Who else in here? Test Nugs. Oh, Test Nugs might not be still hanging. That was a comment a long time ago. Anyway, whoever's still hanging with us, ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for enjoying the show. If you could hit the thumbs up button on the way out, that would be super helpful. If you enjoyed the show, of course. If you did not enjoy the show, why'd you watch the whole thing, right? But in the meantime, if you hate the show like absolute monkey pants, I don't even know, hit the thumbs down button twice. Really, just a double tap, make it count. Like any good assassin, right? But other than that, folks, stay tuned for whatever the fuck. I don't even know. Stay tuned for something. Life, I guess. It's sure coming at us these days, right? Kind of like your mama likes it. But ladies and gentlemen, I guess pending anything else, we'll be here on Tuesday on my main channel, Fumidor and the Flavors. Hope to see you guys there, and hope you guys enjoyed this show. Thank you, of course, D, for doing the show. I guess he's probably off with Mrs. D or off asleep or something. It's after midnight, so he might have fallen asleep on the get. Wouldn't it be funny if he was right in front of the phone? Anyway, Mrs. D's gonna have to push him like an hour or something, or maybe one of the cats is gonna run over him or something. That's good side, bad side kind of thing. I used to have a cat years ago. Like, oh, on the one hand, yeah, okay, now I get to wake up and go to bed. But on the other hand, like a cat's running over you while you're sleeping. Like, no, thank you very much. Oh, I had this cat years ago that basically would jump down on me from, oh, the window was not a small distance actually to the bed. It was a poor idea to have that window there. But I moved in there basically way before I had a cat. This fucking cat somehow, I don't even know, to be honest, how I guess cats are just amazing, right? She just jumped all the way the fuck up to this fucking window, shoulder height, basically. And, the bed was bed height, right? And oh, it might have even been lower than that because I think I might have removed the box spring because of her. Oh, she was a weird cat. Oh, she's a weird, weird cat. When I first got her, she was amazing, like a super cool cat, and all that stuff. And then all of a sudden, she just turned like evil and weird. Anyway, she wasn't completely evil, but she bullied this other cat we had after a while. Oh my gosh, weird fucking cat. Anyway, she would jump down on us in the middle of the night, basically, at all hours, right? Because it's a fucking cat. They're nocturnal. And she'd be up there on that window. No, she would start. That's why I took the box spring out, because she would hide under the bed. So I was like, fuck, we can't have this cat hiding under the fucking bed all the time. So we removed the box spring, or removed the frame maybe. And so the box spring and the bed were, I don't remember exactly. I think that's what it was. The box spring was on the bottom on the floor, and then the bed was on the box spring. And so she would hide other places, and then she would jump up onto the thing, somehow not jumping on us. But then when she would come down, she would jump straight on us as we were sleeping. And she was not a small cat either. She was like, I don't remember now. It's been a long time, but she was a substantial cat, actually. Anyway, no comments in the chat, so maybe the sound is still not working. So maybe I'll just fucking leave it to the lip readers and bounce. Folks, be kind, be decent, be gentle, don't be fucking prick sticks or lunatics. Puff something wonderful, my friends. Hope you can puff something wonderful. If you can't, treat yourself in another way. And until we meet again, my friends, adios. Thanks.